Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another exciting edition of the Voice of the Colon Nation radio show. I am your beloved, lovable dictator, the Color Genesis, giving you instruction on what to do, as I tell you to do as I say and not as I do. And I'm basically going to tell you what I think you need to have because I believe in not FBA, I believe in FTA, which means foot to ass. Basic, simple. I believe in breaking my foot up inside Negroes' asses. That's the only thing Negroes understand. So, but I do this all in love. I love my people and everything like that. So I'm going to tell you things you're not going to like, and so get ready. Look, before we get started, look, I want to say something. I get shows. The shows right here are doing good, pretty decent views, right? But the number of likes I'm getting for these shows is atrocious. I mean, if you hate me that much, I mean, goddamn, you sit there and enjoy the show. People tell me to enjoy the show. You mean tell me you can't just simply look over there, take your fat fingers and click a like button? That's all. That's all I ask for. I ain't asking you for no money. I'm not even asking you to like me. Just click the goddamn like button. Help the show, help the platform grow. Because like I said, I want to grow this platform, and we need more subscribers. We need to get monetized. We need to do all stuff like that. And hitting the like button, if you're watching the show and live or rebroadcast, whatever, just hit that damn like button. Or hit the dislike button too. If you don't like it, hit the dislike button. Like or dislike, same thing. But the thing is, it shows that there's activity. So anyway, folks, we have a good topic for tonight. Like when you have topics like cleaning up lies, misinformation, propaganda floating around social media, things are gonna get hot tonight. Things are gonna will get heated. Things are gonna be off the chain. So stop what you're doing. I want you to go to your refrigerator, get some beer, get some popcorn, get some potato chips. I want you to pull up and everything. Sit back, make yourself comfortable while you have some snacks in your hand, and listen to the College Genesis and his guests tonight as we basically go in. This is going to be a good topic tonight because, in case you don't know, people say, "Well, how's College come with his topics?" I'm just driving around all day, do appointments and everything, doing business all day, and stuff be coming to my head. And I said, something, I'm going to talk about that tonight on the show. That's literally how it is. Something be pissing me off or whatnot. Whether it's something I be thinking about. Like I think like an insult, like I say, or whatever, like that. And I got a couple more insults tonight. So get ready for that. Get prepared to get your feelings hurt tonight. So I just basically think about this stuff like this, and one of the things I'm noticing right now is social media is so dangerous, right? Like I said before, I did a show about this before. It creates a warped sense of reality, right? Two things I want to talk about tonight, right? That's floating around social media that's absolutely not true. What's up, Dave? What's up, brother? What's up, Denzel? Whoever you are in the chat, thanks for coming in. Is the fact that one of the myths that go around, thanks to social media, is somehow black women are the most educated demographic in America. That was a lie. A lie, but it's repeated over and over again, and people accept it as a gospel truth. Black women are the backbone of the black community. Black women are doing everything about holding the black community down. Black women earn more than black men. That's not, none of that is true. All the statistics bear back that black African American men are more likely to be middle class, more likely to have money and stuff like that. And they're selling in small business and the skilled trades, where a lot of black women may have degrees, but they're in debt, and they have net zero net worth, so why is this? Because let me tell you something. With all the stuff I'm talking about tonight, everything is about making the black heterosexual man feel bad. Pretty soon they're gonna tell you that gay men are holding the black community down. You're gonna hear that gays are all our business people and all accessories. They're all gay and whatnot. That's what people do. But they want to steal from you or steal your accomplishments, right? They always come up and say, "Oh, the gays are," it's like they say immigrants. Oh, immigrants are like this lady Igbo chick talking about immigrants are vital to black. No, they're not. No, they're friggin' not. Vital to Black America. No, immigrants are not making the money in Black America. Black America is making the money. We're making the money. You know, and I see it every day in everything. So these myths that float around about Black women's success is all directed at trying to that it's like our enemies, who is the white man, use anything he can to friggin' destroy us. If he means using Black women, he'll do it. If he using Black immigrants, he'll do it. Use Mexicans, he'll do it. And the bottom line, they found out that Mexicans and these Spanish people are doing very bad in this country. Very bad. A lot of them are illiterate, and not only in English, but they're literate in their own languages. And so the bottom line, they got a poor quality of life, a record low graduation rate. And so the bottom line is this. So where's those 90? And another myth is floating around saying that America needs immigrants. Immigrants are paying the taxes and everything. They're doing all the work. That's a lie. All this stuff is a lie. Why is it done? It's because the people who run the world, the New World Order globalists, want it like that. They want you thinking that, oh man, if you open your borders up and just basically just let anybody come in, and then what you have with this parasitic class here of immigrants are they're draining, and cities are going broke taking care of these people. I thought they were supposed to be contributing so much to the economy. Why is New York City going broke? Why is Chicago going broke? Why is all these cities out of control with crime and stuff like this? Yeah, you make $44,000 a year. That's good money. Are you single, Denzel? Are you single? That's actually good money. $44,000 a year, $60,000 is good money. Don't listen to stupid like Ant Nam. The average salary in Britain is like $27,000 a year. In America, if you make $45,000 to $60,000 a year, that's good money. You're in the upper class. Trust, you're in the upper class. Single. If you're making that much money, you're single, dude. You're doing good. You make $44,000 a year and you're single, you are doing good. Trust me. Do you have child support? If you don't have child support and you're making $44,000 a year, it's good, because if you I calculate all your if you had a car payment, and I calculated this car payment, rent, everything, no kids. Oh, Denzel, man, you're living a good life, bro. You're a catch. And if these sisters over here don't want to, there's sisters in the Caribbean, sisters in Africa, or grab yourself a Filipino, man. You got the world. The world is your oyster. World, you're in demand. Trust me, you're a man making $40,000 a year. You're in demand. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't let anybody fool you. You got you think. That's what I said. We're gonna clear up this misinformation and propaganda that's going out there now about Black men being destitute, Black men being not having money, Black people being dusty and everything. Because I meet brothers like Denzel every day. How many? I'm 50. Young brothers, single, driving freaking sports cars, making $60,000, $70,000 a year. I'm like, God damn, young guys, in their 20s. So where does notion come from that Black men are failing and Black men are? It's propaganda. It's propaganda. Some people want to come and be a hero and say, Black people are doing bad. So listen, buy my CD, buy my book, listen to me. I mean, that's why I criticize people like Claude Anderson. Instead of basically, saying this is what we need to do to improve what we got right now, they make it seem like it's so dire and destitute, or that we're just sitting there, we're just like living in hopelessness. That's not the case. Now, people say, if that's not the case, Carla, what do you? My job is to basically reach people who are doing well in America. Say so. The U.S. GDP per capita. Look, Chicwo. This is the only country in the world. Less than 5% of the global population make over $30,000 a year. No other country in the world, except for Singapore and maybe Japan, can come close to the United States. So the bottom line is this: I would say 90% of Black men in America make over $30,000. I would say, well, you can work at McDonald's and Taco Bell, full time and make $30,000 a year. So that means the black male population is in the top 10% of income earners in the world. So you have nothing to be ashamed about. Could we do things better? Could we improve? Yeah, we always want to move to the next level. Never give up. We always want to move to the next level. But when we listen to goofballs telling us how bad we're doing and everything's the bottom's dropping out, that's a lie. Australia has a lot of debt. Australia has a lot of debt. And it was like Japan did heavily invest in Australia. Australia's problem was they worked on their lifestyle, not their economy first. They have a beautiful lifestyle down there, right? But their economy, I don't know, like people rather be surfing than working. That's you can't do anything. It's industrialized land and everything like that by default, but because it's a first world country, it has to be industrialized. Just like if we built an Afghanistan, of course it's going to be industrialized, because of our way of life, our Western way of life. But Australia, they have a lot of they make a lot of money, mines and stuff like that. They have a lot of state and private sector owned mining companies, stuff like that. People make a living in things doing like fishing, and there's a lot of people in the tourism business and stuff like that, entertainment, as far as like hospitality and stuff like that. But if you think Australia is going to be like Detroit anytime soon, no, because people in Australia down under like friggin' their leisure. It's a country that's addicted to their leisure, and they're not giving it up. They'd rather be boating and surfing, right, than working. As simple as that, But nobody calls them lazy, but that's just their way of life. Australians take pride in their, going to the beach culture and surfing and stuff like that. Get eaten by sharks is like thing, so. But yeah, so this is what we're talking about tonight. Clearing up misinformation. Why is misinformation out there? Why? Because we have people that are simply jealous of us, envious of us, And so black men are sick. Yeah, 64%. Yeah, I saw that same thing. 64% in the upper middle class. That's the majority of us, in the middle or upper middle class. That's astonishing. Over the last 30 years, black men have made a lot of gains from the 90s to now. It's amazing. What we was able to achieve for the last 30 years. But do we get credit for that? No. The propaganda is, black men are getting locked up. There's more black men. Another myth, lie that's out there. There's more black men in jail than there is in college. That's a lie. There's way more black men in college, graduating college, than there are in jail. The number of black men going to jail has been declining for decades. To the fact that the prison industry business is going out, private prisons is going out of business. So like this, so it's like all this negativity towards us and whatnot, because we set up because we have a thing in Black America where we like victimhood. When you're a victim, it's trauma bonding. Oh, woe is me. We're so broke. Look, you have people driving around in Bentleys and friggin' a nice sports car talking about how oppressed they are. I mean, but come on, it's a mentality. You ain't fucking oppressed. You're just fucking stupid, And we are, like I said, and one thing I will give about us, Black America, we are friggin', we're not dumb, but we are stupid people, So it's like, I don't know what Principe is talking about. I have no idea. Maybe you can get up here and clarify when I open the chat room up. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what these goofballs are like this, Let's see. What am I generalizing about, G? Oh, you talking about calling black people stupid? Oh, man. Look. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll tell you a story. I had a client of mine come. Real nice lady. Let me tell you something, right? And I was doing her figures for her plan rate. This sister is 70 years old. She's in retirement. This lady makes in retirement $106,000 a year. Holy shit. So she had to pay extra for her Part B coverage in Medicare, because I was like, that can't be right. She goes, I looked at her thing with the statement, how much she made. I said, you make that much money? She's retired. She's a registered nurse, but she still has like She does like she has a home health care agency or something like that. And she basically uh, 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 she make her. But anyway, I was sitting there talking to her, and I was talking about the process. I said, well, things are getting better now because the new administration coming in, and she went off, man, about Donald Trump, man. She was like, I don't care. You like Donald Trump? I'm about to lose a sale. I was like, she was like, I said, he is no good. I said, well, ma'am. Then I asked her about what about Joe Biden pardon? I would have pardoned him too. See, that's what I tell you. Black people, we're becoming wicked. She was like this Christian lady talking about I would have pardoned. Well, he said he wasn't going to pardon his son. I don't care. I would have pardoned my son too. And when I look at what Trump, yeah, but two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah, Trump probably pardoned somebody. He talking about Flynn. General Flynn was set up. And so I'm saying to myself, she was going. Then my sister calls me, and from her office, right, and she goes, "Look, we you know what the rule is? No talking politics." The lady was getting heated, and I was just trying to explain. Well, man, there's another side to. I don't want to hear that. She didn't want to hear nothing about Donald Trump. She said, let's get back to business because I don't want to hear nothing about no Donald Trump. She didn't want to hear nothing, man. She's a butthole Kamala supporter. I'm sorry, Kamala Mala didn't win. That's what black women call her. Kamala Mala. Kamala Mala didn't win, So go. It's like I wish these Kamala people would just go away already. Go away. You lost, And they're angry. Like my brother, man, he's a Kamala Mala supporter. He's telling me today. My brother's telling me today. I know we're gonna be arguing for the next couple of days. He goes, I know you're happy when that your boy won. I said, kind of. He goes, but yeah, man. But people are calling my clients and whatnot. I know it's because Donald Trump's. I said he ain't even fucking office yet, man. Why are you blaming him for people calling your clients or whatever like that? Well, that's where it starts, man. Because Donald Trump's gonna take away all the regulation. Blah blah blah. I said he ain't even fucking in office yet. Trump derangement syndrome, man. Negroes, man. I tell you, my brother, I love him, but goddamn, man. Pain in my neck, Well, Kala, there are many of Black Americans who have experienced more careers. Yeah, sure, yeah. Look, bottom line is, this myth about Black people economically. I think all the people that keep pushing that, I think you better come up with something else. I know the bottom line is Black people back in the 90s. I remember reading this, right? They was asking, what's the number one concern about Black people? They don't ask you this no more. They said it's the cultural and social issues are the number one concern among Black people, not economics. It never was. Black people were concerned about the image in the media, the culture of violence, the immorality, and stuff like that. That's what Black people were really concerned about for the longest time. Not economics, Black people were like, yo, look, man, we got the economics thing. We can always work, whatever, go to school, get more education. Black people aren't stupid, But the bottom things they can't control is the fact that white people have a disproportionate amount of power. And the bottom line is white people can set the narrative. If somebody could define you, they could confine you. We want to be able to define ourselves. That's what Black people have been fighting for. We want to basically have agency over our life. Right now, with this misinformation they put out there, they're taking our agency away from us. You don't know what we think. You don't know what's on our mind. People are clueless. And basically, I'm gonna try to find this video from Thomas Sowell is a big Uncle Tom race trader. This one white guy basically was asking him about his views, and he's saying, something, that doesn't sound right. He goes, there's racists. Yeah, and Tom's going, oh yeah. He's sitting there, Rachel explaining, Rachel explaining, or try to race explain, the nonsense and everything. This guy is a freaking. You talk about a grifter. Thomas Sowell is a fucking grifter. He's nothing but a punk and a grifter. So bottom line is that he's no damn good, and I don't respect anybody basically who sit there and will quote Thomas Sowell. The guy is no damn good. He's a bum. So I'll find this. Why? Man, I swear to God, hold up. I'm looking for here we go. Here we go. All right. All right. We're gonna watch some of this video of Thomas Sowell making a fool out of himself. So all you Thomas Sowell lovers and whatnot, I wonder what you guys say about this. The white man trying to school him about racism.
Let me just tell you what it does. First of all, big tech.
And even within Europe, it was precisely the
HL Mencken. All right. You quote H.L. Mencken, whom you call a prominent intellectual during the Progressive Era. Quote, "It is apparent that the Negro, no matter how much he is educated, must remain as a race in a condition of subservience, that he must remain the inferior. Therefore, the effort to educate him has awakened in his mind ambitions and aspirations which, in the very nature of things, must go unrealized." Close quote.
This
It's that
video,
phrase, in the very nature of things,
yes,
that gets to the view.
Yes, that was a pervasive view during that era.
And it is straightforward, pure racism in the strict sense of believing that the races are materially different from.
This is for fair use. But look how this guy basically trying to explain to Tom Sowell. And he said that, back then. He don't understand. He's such a liar that the bottom line is when he talk about the Gilded Age, the Progressive Era, the Gilded Age, that basically, right, during that time period, that's when white people decided that they were going to rule America by themselves. America belonged to them. Whatever they had to do to make America rich and get rich and everything, immigrants be damned, blacks be damned, whatever like that. The main thing is it was called root, hog, or die. That was a Gilded Age, So in other words, if you couldn't make it, whatever that, you were left to your own devices. So therefore, and also a racial component was the fact that how do you make this is you make white people feel like they're part of this racial club that black people can't get into. You saw it in the Negro leagues and the major leagues of whites and everything. White people coming off the boat from Europe were already put a place above black people who's been here for centuries, But here Thomas Sowell is sitting here apologizing for the white supremacists and the racist stuff like that. Basically putting no responsibility on white people whatsoever for what they did and what they did, the situation that left black people in a limbo. We had to fight from there. Let me finish.
From one another.
Yes. It's sort of hard to one of the problems with this way of thinking is that it eternalizes a set of circumstances that exist at the moment. And when you realize how even a whole
now he doesn't believe what he's saying is that has even though he admit that that racial attitude existed back then, but he says it bears no on what happens today. The same thought processes that created everything we have right now. The reason why white people have an advantage is because of those errors right there, who believe fundamentally black people don't deserve a chance at all. They don't deserve education, and they always got to be in a subservient position. That basically was right there all the time. So what is he talking about? This is what I mean by the misinformation, Black conservatives, they'll say, they call it people. I don't know. I guess some of you thought that I was a black conservative. I am not a black conservative, I think black conservatives are fucking race traitors, and I don't like them at all. They're race traitors. I'm fair about everything. I'm fair when it comes to both sides of the argument, Yeah, Thomas Sowell is a white man. He's a white racist guy trapped in black skin. That's all he is. That's why we got people like Chukwo and all these other people who like him or not, because he's saying, spewing that self-hate nonsense, that they love to hear so much. People like Thomas Sowell, Candace Owens, they're apologists for the white supremacists. They're really apologists. And I would love for somebody to come up here and try to debate me otherwise. I would love to see somebody try to debate me otherwise.
Century is just a blink of an eye in the history of the human race. And
He says if that's a blink of the eye of the human race, then okay. If he says that was a blink of the eye of the human race or whatnot, but the whole thing is that little blink of the eye basically is the reason why some countries still dominate the world and some countries are dirt poor. So he's being very dismissive of what the impact of white supremacy, racism, colonialism, imperialism had on the rest of the world. Oh, just a blink the eye. So in other words, basically, if it's just a blink of the eye, so I'm justified in basically saying that America really is not something at our end game because this is just a blink of the eye. We can move on from America because like you said, Mr. Souls, it's just a freaking blink of the eye. So we can move on to something else, can't we? We can move on to something else beyond America, right? No. When you try to say that like that, suddenly they're Americans and we got to stick it out and whatnot. We put a lot of effort in this country and whatnot. We got 400 years and all this kind of stuff like that. Our bones are better in America. It's all full of shit, But when you can talk about the racism, oh, just a little blink of the eye, a little time period, that passed, it passes in the by and by and everything like that. When we say, something, maybe we should move beyond America and everything and look for other. No, we're Americans. Look how long we've been here and everything. So everything is to the white man's benefit that this guy preaches.
And when you realize, for example, that the IQ tests have only existed for about a century and are by no means infallible, if you look back over the centuries and you see how the races that were on top at one time were now no longer on top. I mean, at one time, the Middle East was the leading civilization in the world. And before them, China, for even more centuries, was the leading civilization of the world. And even within Europe, it was precisely the Southern Europeans who were so much more advanced than the people in Britain or Scandinavia back in the days of
Greece and Rome.
But what the people of that era did was take the different achievements of different groups and sort of freeze them in stone as if there was no past and there would be no future.
It's possible to dismiss Mencken. Mencken is one of the figures you mentioned here as a provocateur or a reactionary, but you note that his views were shared by John Maynard Keynes, H.G. Wells, George Bernard Shaw, Woodrow Wilson, leading figures looked upon even today as leading intellectuals of the first years of the 20th century. They weren't bad or malevolent people. No. Talk for a moment or two, because they based, as best I can tell from the book, the IQ tests. They believed that they actually had objective evidence. They had proof of the differences between races arising from these intelligence tests that began to be given around the time of the First World War.
I know this is going to sound crazy, but thanks to Elon Musk, this strange...
What gets me is these people say, okay, then when we beat these tests, we score higher than them on IQ tests. Like me, when I did my IQ test, they came out there. It was like, God damn, man! They didn't tell me actually much. They said it was very high. I had the highest. This company I work for, I had the highest IQ score. They was like, damn, your IQ's damn near genius. That was like 10 years ago. And they said your IQ is about genius. I'm like, wow. So they test the thing where they see how you recognize patterns and stuff like that when you did the IQ test and everything. And they said, man, mine was damn near genius. And Ross Moisture, no, he's not a great man. He's not a great man. He's not a great man at all. He's somebody that's paid to say and apologize for it. All he's doing is sitting there apologizing for the racist situation. He can't understand that one race of people walked away with the whole entire fucking world and basically not apologize for it. Did he forget about the Gilded Age? White people basically from Carnegie to Roosevelt and all these people built the thing, see the shine there. Of course, Kung Fu Panda. And Kung Fu Panda, I'm about to get rid of you, He's not a great man. Don't say, I'm going to delete your comment. I'm going to give you a warning, I'm going to delete your comment. And you say it again, and you're friggin' out of here. You know, so bottom line is Thomas Sowell is not a great man. If you hate black people and you believe in white supremacy and stuff like that, you believe what? Look, I don't think highly of white people, to tell you the truth. They're not more intelligent than I am. You know, I would love for somebody white to come onto my show and try to debate me on a topic once I see I crushed them. You know, I would never friggin' what you call he's not a gentleman and a scholar. He's a punk. Thomas Sowell's a punk. You know, that's all he is. He's a fucking punk. You know, he's not a gentleman and a scholar. Only a fool thinks that's a gentleman. He's afraid. He's no different than Al Sharpton. He's no different than friggin' any other demagogue out there. That's all he is, a demagogue. You know, he's saying what white supremacists want to hear. He's not scholarly at all. You know? You know, so I'm not being a tyrant. I'm just telling you like it is, you know? And the bottom line is this: I am sick and tired of people pushing white supremacy talking points, and they think they're going to come around me with that shit. No, I'm sorry. I don't deal with it. If you're a white supremacist and you're rocking with white supremacists, no. Okay, he's a good scholar. Okay. Put you on a timeout. KMB, you got one warning. Say that again, that he's a scholar and whatnot, good man, whatever like that. You're out of here. You off my platform for good. You can say that shit someplace else. You know? I don't even like white people coming to my show. But you don't come up here. Anytime your worst enemy is praising somebody black or not, you know they're doing something wrong. Yeah, just a world where like, when your worst enemies are praising somebody in your community, they're doing something wrong. You know? I don't care if it's Umar Johnson, I don't care if it's Farrakhan. Anytime somebody black getting praised from white people like that something is not right. Something rotten in Denmark. You know? This guy got way too many white racists and that love him because he says what they want to hear. You know, they don't want to take no responsibility for it. So, in other words, basically, all the towns that were burned to the ground by white mobs, right? What does Tom Sowell got to say about that? Oh, just a time period. Do you understand? By the time they try to integrate us into a society, integrate us into society, there was nothing left to build upon. You can't build with somebody from a position of weakness. You know, we had nice communities in this country that were destroyed. They did redlining, did everything they can to freaking destroy us. Why? Because they did not want us to be part of their society. And so when we succeeded in society, that really was starting. See, let me tell you something about how these races work. They don't care about the people think that, like Truco think that you get rid of Bunquishas and Pookies, racism go away. That's not the case, you know? That's not the case, you know? That's not the case. That's not the case. The Pookie equation is no threat to the white supremacy system. Somebody like me, I am. Somebody who's educated, I am. Somebody that can debate them, knows who I am, know what I want. And somebody that really basically say, okay, I hate accountability. Well, how about you be accountable? I'm gonna put you on timeout, Pierre. We'll put you on timeout. How's that for accountability? You know? And keep talking, you're gonna be permanently banned off my show. You know, so if you can't explain why he's doing what he's doing is explaining away white supremacy. The bottom line is, I am spending my life. I want to destroy white supremacy. White people do not friggin' are not superior to us. You know, white people are not superior to us. They're not. I know these people, goofy past people, believe they're superior to us and whatnot. And so the bottom line, when somebody get up here explaining, oh, white people, they were racist back then. No, their racism is the reason why our grandfathers and great grandfathers suffered in this country. You know. Thank you, Mufasa. About somebody says Thomas Sowell's a piece of fucking shit. You know, he shouldn't be able to get away with it. He's like, yeah, he gets away with it because he's getting paid. That's all. He's a grifter, you know. He's a grifter, you know. He's a fucking grifter. That's all it is. And let me tell you something. I am sick and tired of grifter. Whether you're Al Sharpton or you're Thomas Sowell, I am sick and tired of coward ass black men. That's a fucking coward. A man, Grifter, it's like Thomas Sowell is a fucking coward, right? He don't now look white people in the eye and say, look, you fucking devil. I don't give a damn what you don't like or not. And you gonna freaking, let me tell you something. The problems in Black America, right? We can solve those problems and everything, or we can't solve those problems. The bottom line is this: we don't owe no explanation to anybody, you know? They basically created a society that was all theirs, you know? Then when we tried to create our own Black society in here, they said, no, you're asking too much. You know, we had our own Negro leagues. They got rid of that. No, you can't have it. We were thriving. The Negro leagues were thriving. Black enterprise, thriving. People were making millions of dollars. We love the game of baseball. We had our own leagues. They got rid of that. We had our own green book or not. You say you don't want us in your hotels, restaurants, and everything like that. So we created our own thing called the Green Book, you know, and made a lot of Black people rich. But we had our own resorts in this country and everything. We were completely independent in this country, you know. Well, won't you tell friggin' Thomas Sowell that? You know, Thomas Sowell's the type of person that he don't want to see Black people and say, okay, Thomas Sowell, so what about black separatism or Black nationalism? No, you can't do that. So he wants us on our knees begging white people for everything, and he gets the kick out of us being at their mercy. That's all that is, you know. I don't know who Walter Williams is. He's another friggin' Uncle Tom. You like him, Ross Moyes. He must be another Uncle Tom, you know. You know, I'm not deleting comments. Like, yo, look, it's about my views. If you're gonna say something belligerent like Thomas Sowell is a great man, stuff like that, you know, go someplace else. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because you're pissing me off. That ain't friggin' like an individual, so like that. You're just taunting me. I just gave the thing. I played the video. This guy basically is apologizing for white race. White racists never even asked for an apology. They never even said they were sorry. But he's sitting there apologizing for them. Oh yeah, they didn't ask. They're not even sorry for what they did. They're not sorry one bit what their ancestors did. You know. And so, bottom line is this. So, yeah, Africans don't understand shit because it's stupid. You know. Go Black. I don't know about O'Shea. Look, what about O'Shea Duke Jackson? I don't care. You know, another so-called content creator. I have no beef with O'Shea, but what the fuck does he got to do with what I'm talking about tonight? You know. Oh yeah, mercy, man. Where all these goofballs come from tonight? You know, where are we at? You know, it's Friday night, man. It's starting in already, man. I got the goofball brigade in here tonight. You know, Thomas Sowell. Yeah, so the bottom line is this. We're talking about misinformation and propaganda. See, people like Thomas Sowell, right? He'll never talk about the Black success in America, right? The Black success. So in other words, basically, when you see Black success in America, either they ignore it, like Candace Sowell, they don't ignore the tremendous success in Black America, or they'll basically say they'll give the credit to the white man, you know. Oh, see, America's so great, blah blah blah, you know. And when they hate is the fact that when somebody is successful in America, and they tend to friggin' identify with their only with their own people, they hate that shit, you know. That's why they hated Bill Cosby. You know, they hated Bill Cosby because Bill Cosby, despite all his flaws and whatnot, he loved his people. This Dr. Cosby loved his people. He gave over 100. He had 100 million different ways to explain it because he gave $100 million to black colleges, Spelman, Morehouse, all these colleges. Man, they would have been under if it wasn't for Bill Cosby. The movie Malcolm X with Spike Lee, it was Cosby that basically Cosby that came in. And like I think it was like a $3 million budget shortfall. It was Cosby that came in and saved that movie Malcolm X from being made. It was Bill Cosby. The movie Malcolm X with Spike Lee, that was Bill Cosby who came in at the last minute and friggin' saved that film, you know, because they wouldn't give Spike Lee the budget that he needed. So Bill Cosby put his money up and helped him out, you know. That man's been helping black people. So where was Spike Lee at when Bill Cosby was going through the thing? He didn't say not a peep, not a word. Because they're so scared of the white man, That's what I said. We got nothing but goddamn cowards running around the black community. You ask me to call it, man. Create a BAO or some organization. I wouldn't create no damn organization with y'all bunch of niggas for nothing, you know. I don't deal with cowards, you know. Give me some friggin' real friggin' men. Ben Carson's a good guy, man. I listen to Dr. Carson, and he seems like a sweet, genuine man. He's not like Thomas Sowell, you know. Ben Carson seems like a sweet, genuine man who just wants the best one. He just came. He had a humble childhood. And everything went through rough times, whatnot. And he worked hard for everything he got. You know. Chuko, you got low expectations because you're in America, and basically instead of being in Nigeria, building your country, you're over here talking about I gotta eat. You're not pathetic. You sound, Chuko. I gotta eat. So it is what it is. G asked me, what happened to you about to be? Nothing happened. We split. I went my way, and the other guys went their way. Good luck to them. But I'm the one getting the work done. These guys ain't doing nothing but talking shit online. I'm actually doing the real work. So it is what it is, folks. We're talking about lies, misinformation, propaganda towards us around social media. One of the biggest lies that they keep talking about is, like I said, the biggest lie. Remember the biggest lie they'll push around? Oprah Winfrey is the richest African American ever lived. Look, I'm gonna tell you something right now. If somebody can prove me wrong, I don't think Oprah's a billionaire. I don't think she ever was. I think that was just hype, because they never could actually show where her wealth is. Where's her wealth? How's she a billionaire? But that was just another example of them trying to elevate the so-called black women above black men. Didn't come up with Bob Johnson. What about Robert Smith, and this guy Daniel Stewart? These are all African American men, billionaires. No one knows about Reginald Lewis, the very first black billionaire in the whole entire world, was right here in the United States. That wasn't Oprah Winfrey. It was a black man. So that's what bothers them, when black men are able to take that same system that they oppress us with, right? Like I said, let me tell you something about everything. Like I said, I study martial arts, right? No matter what system you create, whether it's white supremacy, whatever, it's like this. So when Chuko says low expectation, he don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Chuko needs to go to his shithole country and worry about that. I believe in black exceptionalism, black excellence, right? No matter what system it is, we can beat any system they throw out there. We proved it. Every thing that we've conquered in this country, everything is not anything in this country from going out of space to anything we've already done in this country, And the bottom line is we show them that we can do anything that they put before us and everything like that. No obstacle is too great for us, Of course, Larry Elder's a great man because he says what you want to hear. Larry Elder talks black but sleeps white. The man sleeps white. When you sleep white, you have nothing to say to me. Larry Elder is about white women and white people. So the bottom line, he should just stay away from racial issues, And like I said, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. Be out there with white women and stuff like that in California and blah, blah, your corny self or not. Hey, that's fine. But you don't get to, the only white people take Larry Elder seriously, So it is what it is. I don't care what high school he went to. Larry Elder is a fucking white guy in blackface, That's all he is, Larry. I call him Larry Elder. Older. Not Elder, he's older. Him and his fucking boy, Jesse Lee Peterson, and all these fucking black men, all coward ass. But I can't stand cowards, Okay. Yeah, white does exist, KBM. You're one of them, You're a cracker, your damn self. I never said white people control my destiny, Chukwo. They don't control our destiny. They don't control our destiny. That's why I said stupid even asking. Like I said, let me tell you something right now. In 2024, white people have absolutely no power over what we do. They don't control our destiny. They have nothing to bargain with. Nothing. How can you bargain with what you don't have? They have nothing to come to the table with. There's nothing that they have that I need, that I want. You know? So it's like, it is what it is. So Chuko with this nonsense about I'm a white supremacist. No, I'm just saying, look, if people want to believe all that white supremacy nonsense and everything, whatever, I'm not with all that, So let me get friggin' Pierre, you're a dusty ass person from Guadalupe. What the hell am I be jealous about your dusty ass for? You're dusty. You come from a third world shithole country, I'm from America. It gets no better. I'm the pinnacle of what it means to be successful. I would not trade places with you. So why would I be jealous of you? I would not trade my life for your life. It's all about power. It's like, would you trade your life for somebody else's life? No. Pierre, you're not somebody I would want to trade lives with. So it is what it is. Who cares? Guadalupe, Guadalupe, who the hell cares? It's a place nobody knows about, nobody cares about. Does it really necessary to know the name? Is anybody going to go there? Is anything major happening there in that country that we need to know about? No. So the bottom line, why do I need to know how to pronounce it? I come from a beautiful island. Okay. There's no such thing as a beautiful island. Yeah, I come from a beautiful. Oh yeah, I do come from a beautiful island too. I was born in Long Island, Long Island, New York City. So I come from a beautiful island too, bro. Oh Lord, Chuck, whoa, Chuck. I got to upchuck my food. I got Chuck whoa on. All right, Chuck whoa.
I notice a pattern. Anybody who preaches higher standards of personal accountability.
Yeah, he's not preaching higher standards.
That's exactly what he's doing.
No, he's not. He's not preaching high standards. He's preaching mediocrity.
No, he's preaching high standards.
No, he's not. He's preaching mediocrity.
You're preaching.
He's talking mediocrity.
No.
Thomas Sowell preaches mediocrity.
You're preaching victimhood.
No, I'm not preaching victimhood. You're just taking what I'm saying, and because you have it in your mind that anybody who opposes you is talking victimhood. Anybody tell college Genesis is about winning. I'm a winner.
You're a winner.
Hold on. I've been winning my whole life. Everything. Okay. So why would I be talking victimhood? I'm not no victim. I'm a winner.
You're a winner. That's great.
Ever since I was in school, I was never bullied. I was the bully. I was that guy that was on top of everybody. My whole life I've been about winning. So what are you gonna come here now and tell me I'm a victim for?
Because you are preaching a victimhood mindset.
That's not a victimhood mindset. You don't know what you're talking about.
Well,
let's look at if I tell you what happened, right? That's the truth. That's what happened. It does not mean that I'm gonna sit here and dwell in it, right? But what people say, hold up, listen to what I'm saying. What people say, hold up, it's like the thing about since you asked, it's like when you basically say, okay, Black America has a lot of success in this country, right? But why are they on the same level as whites? Well, let's look at the history. That's a factor. That's the truth. That ain't no freaking victimhood. That's the truth. They did certain things to our community that gave themselves an upper hand and handicapped us for centuries and whatnot. That's the truth. That's not no lie. That's not being victim. That's just telling it like it is.
I think there's a grain of truth in what you're saying here. I think, Black Americans haven't enjoyed all of the rights and freedoms of full.
It was never meant. Look, but hang on. Hold on. You gotta understand something. Like Thomas Sowell, this idiot don't seem to understand. Black people in America never asked for all this. We never asked for this.
Okay, so
hold on. hold on. How can you basically our ancestors did not ask to be brought here. We did not ask to be slaves. We as when they basically after the Civil War was over or whatnot, they basically didn't give us an option. They didn't say, "Do you want to be us a part of the government?" We were not at the signing of the 13th, 14th Amendment. We weren't signing at the original Constitution. No one ever sat down in respect and said, "What do you guys want?" It was only General Sherman went to black leadership. It was the only time in history when General Sherman went to the black leadership and they said, "What do you want?" They said, "Well, we need territory in America to be protected from the whites because if they come to power," and they was sure enough, he was absolutely right. So General Sherman took a strip of land, him and Lincoln, they took a strip of land from Wilmington all the way down to Jacksonville, Florida. That was going to be a federally protected land that only black people could migrate to and everything like that and be protected on land, everything like this. Hold on. When that happened, when Lincoln was assassinated, that all went to shit, right? White people basically did everything they can to push black people. Black people making progress. Do you know after 20 years after slavery, we went from a 0% literacy rate to like 99% literacy rate. That was remarkable in that time period.
Let me ask you a question.
We pull ourselves up. What happened? They burned or they destroyed all our black communities were destroyed.
Yes. They destroyed the communities. Now,
so you can't hold up. You can't just write that. You can't just write that. What you want to do is just write that off. Oh, they destroyed. No, we had nothing to build on because they destroyed everything we built.
Okay,
that's the truth.
Let me ask you a question.
So Thomas Sowell doesn't talk about that aspect. All he does is puts it all on black people. Why it is when that. But what if black people said they're going to take revenge for that shit? No, you can't do that. Everything like that. Why not? He says it was just a speck in the history, right? Like he said, a speck in history. So why do we have to preserve this America thing? It's just a speck in history. Maybe we can move on from that. So one thing I do agree about Thomas Sowell about one thing. He said this is just a speck in history, but he said it for his own benefit. Marcus Garvey said that, right? He said, "Oh, we're just passing through. This is a speck in history. Don't get comfortable in America. Let's build our own nation," right?
But let me ask you
Thomas Sowell. He doesn't like what Marcus Garvey had to say, right?
Okay,
when you bring black nationalists up to Thomas Sowell, he would right away tell you how we have so much at stake in America. We've been here so long. We're Americans. Blah 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 blah. He's full of shit, man.
All right, you have a lot of strong opinions, but let me ask you a question. Do you think that all disparities of that you see in terms of graduation rates?
I don't because first of all. What I want you to do is don't say another word. I want you to prove what you just said because I said that's bullshit.
I'm asking
you're repeating white supremacy talking point.
No.
The graduation rates aren't bad in Black America. What are you talking about?
I'm asking you a question.
No. I'm not going to answer a question until you get proof up here. You can basically put it in the back chat. I'll put up here and see where you reference it. Give me your sources.
Okay. God. Okay, now I got to go into Google.
Yeah, give me your sources. You don't come on this platform running your mouth. This ain't the Alpha Dumbass show.
Well, I bring you your sources.
Bring the sources. Last time you didn't do that, and I said if you don't bring the sources, I'm banning you. Because you said it.
So you don't think there's any disparities?
No, there isn't. No.
All right, Kala. Enjoy your pity party. I'm gonna let you cry.
Go ahead, whatever. You can't prove your point. All you want to do is talk shit, and you can't prove nothing.
You can be a victim.
You can't know. If I'm a victim, will not prove it. That's your boy Elvis, man. He's a coward, man. I gave him a chance. That if he got evidence or whatnot, he got all these black people disparate. Where is the evidence? What's the proof? What's the proof? We got record numbers of black
males. Their scores are pretty low compared to other race.
Okay.
We can improve. We can try to improve on it, but let's not deny it.
People automatically assume.
We're not assuming anything, Kyle. Come on, man. We're not stupid.
Okay, Elvis, prove that. Prove that. Show me.
I'm not going to prove it. Go online and search it up.
No, I'm not going to do that. Get off a show. Look, if you cannot friggin' there's some data, whatever like that. Of course, if you come from the inner city, of course things gonna be like this. But this idea that friggin' black males are just failing all this, that's a friggin' lie. If you can't prove it, I don't want to hear what you got to say. If you can't come up here and prove what you got to say, then shut the fuck up. You know, that's why we talk about misinformation and lies and all this kind of foolishness. You know, tonight I want to hear nothing about misinformation. If you don't
Nah,
have,
Kyler, you make a lot of assertions about Africa and you can't prove any of it.
Look, I
You
usually
say a lot of shit out of your mouth you
look,
can't prove.
I
Don't
usually
start
prove
that.
I can prove it though. I always prove what I say. I would say what I got back of what I say. If I say something, I go ahead and prove it. That's what you guys don't like. You guys say
Kyler, you have educators in the chat that's telling you
what
the
education?
rates for black boys. Mystic Dime is giving you. Listen,
What education you talking about?
Mystic Dime is an educator. She's telling you the rates for black boys are low.
Let me tell you something. I'll be the first to admit, right? If you look at the poor quality of schools and some of the black schools in America, in the inner cities that come from poor areas, of course, you know. But basically, you could go to like where I live at, right? We got some of the top high schools and kids going to academy and some everything. Black kids going to academy and everything in the area I live in, right? If you just took
Kyler, that's anecdotal. Certain areas are doing better on a national level. The rates are pretty low.
Hold up. What going on in Louisiana don't mean so when you say, oh,
It averages out, Kyler. It averages out.
You may have one area, right, that's really doing really bad, but that's pulling everybody else down. Why should everybody black be judged by a few people that's
no, it's just the averages, right? Some areas, if you have a high falutin area, the kids in those schools will do well. But poor areas,
that doesn't prove anything. But what Truco side say, across America, every black kid you look at.
Yeah, Truco is making extreme points, but we can't deny the fact that
a fucking idiot, you know.
Yeah, when we were in high school, even right now, our scores are lower.
Listen to Thomas Sowell is not going to get you any fucking.
Yeah, I'm not a Thomas Sowell fan. I'm a liberal. I don't believe in that idiot. But I'm just telling you, to have these conversations, we don't have to obfuscate the facts.
He's an apologist for white supremacists and everything. That's all he is.
I agree with all of that. I agree with that. But when you get angry about these test scores, it's been that way for a long time. Black males have been doing better over the years, but it's still pretty low.
Back in the 60s, they say that black kids in Cleveland schools actually scored higher than white kids in Alabama. So it fluctuates. You know, black kids in Cleveland in Harlem score higher than that blasted all over the place by Thomas Sowell? No. Why? Because he has an agenda. It's to make black people look like they're bad. You go to the Appalachian and places like that, scores are really bad among white people. But because there's so many
black people excel in other places, right? Than white people in arts, in athletics, in other places. We can't be number one in everything.
Black people do everything. So this is academics and everything. We got record numbers of kids graduate from college in the sciences and everything, the STEM fields and everything. You know, if you don't know, our colleges.
What they failed to say is that black kids do way better than white people when they're educated by black teachers and black.
Right, when they have black teachers in black school, they do perfectly well. But you got white teachers in there and who don't freaking give a damn about the student. What do you think is going to happen? You know. So that's what I said. These people basically come up here and they put up their freaking nonsense there. They don't know shit about Black America. All they do is put up misinformation and propaganda.
You could put in some references or citations in the back chat.
Let's see.
Again, I'm not offended by it. I went to school. I did pretty well. I have buddies who didn't do so well. So these things are averages.
Let me see what Chuko brought to the table.
There are disparities when it comes to high school graduation, college.
Okay, hold on. Let me read your thing. In previous work, we saw a wider gap in one-time school graduation rates. It's talking about graduation rates. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Repeat the analysis and whatnot. You know, in 2021, in the states with available data, right? That means conveniently they probably went to like Louisiana, Mississippi. And fucking probably bullshit. So it's not an accurate thing. So basically, they could cherry pick what states they're going to talk about. You know, so it's not a scientific poll.
And also, none of these are from the government.
No, it's not. You know,
can't get no government data.
No, the Brookings Institute. What a fucking joke. You know, Chuko figures.
No, the Brooklyn institution is a
Friggin' stupid,
reputable
another
research
friggin'
institution.
what you call it, same thing. The Hoover Institute. They're friggin' institutions that say what people want to hear, so they're not scientific. They got
They
they
say
got
whatever their donors want them to say.
what do them say? That's all it is. If you don't understand how institutes work. But the biggest difference is the gender gap by race in the 5 largest states. Okay, with 9% point gap between Black and Hispanic girls, Black boys compared to 4 point gender. What the fuck I mean by 4 point gap? You know, for Asian students, 3 point gap with gays. They don't even make any fucking sense.
Graduation rates.
So that doesn't hold up. That doesn't make any sense. It said 2021 states available 6% point gap rate. So in other words, if you talk about 6%, 4%, that's really close. So what's the big deal?
There's no big deal, Kyle. Black people.
What's the big deal? You're not talking about really.
No, Black people are winning. Winning everything. They invented everything, and they're winning everything.
Kyle, you made those same assertions and stereotypical views on this platform. If you want to hide something from a Black man, put it in a book. You Negroes don't read. You don't read. You say the same things.
I say things whatnot, but I say it in jest. But the bottom line, I know that shit's not true. You know, I know that's not true. And I like to joke around people and that because like we're a redneck comedian, he'll joke around with his own people and that. But like when you start saying something to them or
these data is most of the time it's situational, right? Person who grew up in a high income household are likely to be very smart and do very well in school.
A friggin' thing it says some states on time graduation rates for specific subgroups are quite low. In Michigan, for example, only 61% of Black boys graduate high school. That's actually pretty good, 61%. That's Michigan. That's a freaking failed state altogether.
Yeah, that's 31% not getting a high school degree. That's not good.
But you talk about a state which basically failed. Detroit failed. Deindustrialization failed. You don't have Black teachers. You don't have Black schools. You don't have none.
Yeah, and all of these things should be a motivation for Black men.
How are you gonna be a motivation
to have have organizations to encourage more Black males and Black women to be teachers? That's all.
First of all, Elvis, you see, that's why you say you talk out of your fucking mouth. We're gonna Black men have been saying that for years. We need to.
Not just talking. That's what I'm saying. Have an action committee. Have an action organization to recruit more Black people to go to school to be teachers.
Guess who the liberals represent? The teachers union, right? These people have a monopoly on the education, and they're not.
No, they don't have a monopoly if you can go to school and choose to go into a teaching field and be a biology teacher or a math teacher.
He belongs to a union, and the bottom line.
Tyler, they got people who recruit. They got organizations who will go to a high school and see a bright person and say, "Hey, you're a Black man. We want you to be a part of our organization. We want you to go to school and be a teacher."
Look, the Republicans have been trying to give Black kids vouchers so they can go to better schools or even charter schools, something like that. The liberals and the
Tyler, you're not getting the point that I'm making. We're talking two different things. I'm telling you, there are Black organizations.
No, hold up. The bottom line is this: years ago, Black people like Principal Joe Clark and all these people. Joe Clark, his school, Eastside High School, turned it around because they had strong men like that in the school. And what happened was they got rid of people like Joe Clark. They got rid of people like Bill Cosby, people like educated mind and whatnot. So we're
not talking about individuals, Carlo. Take your organization, right? The BAIO, for example. I'm just saying, I'm giving you an example. Listen to what I'm saying, Carlo. Let me speak.
If you want to talk education, you talk to dollar bill.
Yeah, I'm just giving you an example, right? So you have an organization of like-minded people.
No.
Carlo, you gotta let me finish a sentence, bro.
I don't get into education because that's not what I do.
I'm not saying this is what you do. I'm giving an example. I'm just saying, for example, right? It's not the reality. I'm just giving you an example, something that you're familiar with. So you have an organization like the BAIO that started by Black people, for example, and these people are probably, let's say they're endowed, they have money, they have like $100 million set aside for engagement initiative in the Black community. You can take part of that money, go to some of these high schools, for example. I'm just giving you an example, right? Tyler, you gotta let me finish a sentence, bro. I mean, What are you so afraid that I'm going to say? I'm not saying anything offensive. Let me just finish.
Hold on. We got public education here in this country, the best education system in the world.
Tyler, they got white organization that go recruit teachers, that go recruit high school students to be certain, to be engineers, to work for their firms, because they want to bring their numbers. I'm giving you an example. If we have a black organization that can go recruit smart students to be, like Jonathan was saying, to be more teachers, more black kids need more black teachers.
Elvis, this is how what you don't know what you're talking about, right? Do you understand that education is about nation building? That's what it's about. Nation building.
Jonathan made a point here, right? And I agree with that point.
Education.
If black kids excel when they have black teachers, having more black teachers will help more black kids. So you have to have an organization that will recruit and put black men and women in colleges to become teachers. That's
people
all.
who don't know shit about our culture, right? Don't you think we've been through those?
You think this is a cultural thing? This is a cultural war that you want to fight with me?
You don't know what you're talking about. We've been through this in the 60s and whatnot. The bottom
What's the organization that went out there recruiting very brilliant high school students to be teachers?
Organization. We tried to take over our schools and say this is what we want and whatnot. But the bottom line is they don't want black people teaching their own children. It's simple as that. That's what it is. Our kids get taught by white people because there's money in the education. They need to friggin'.
I'll tell you this, right? The director of math in the Osceola school district, close to the district where I live in, and I went to that school district when I went to school, high school. It's a Liberian guy called Sisse Goye. He's a director of math for the entire school district, and we've had conversations on these talk shows, and he's formulating a plan that will help the black population at the test scores in the Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, Osceola areas.
Why don't you take that to go to Liberia and do that?
I'm just giving you an example, right? That these things are nationwide.
That's not the issue. Like I said, the whole thing is, like I said, you got problems. Whatnot. These problems in black education can be solved. They're solvable. Trust me, they're solvable. They're solvable. If people
do you agree with the point that Jonathan made that black kids do better with black teachers?
We know that. Hold on, we know that, right?
So, do you think there's enough black teachers?
Hold on. The bottom line is this: it doesn't matter. Just sing into the choir.
I don't think it doesn't matter. Then let's not have the conversation. Having black teachers don't matter, and black kids doing better with black teachers.
If you say that suddenly you're gonna have all these black teachers, and do you understand integration is when black teachers went out of business when we integrated? They took resources from our schools and bust over the white schools and whatnot. Do you understand what you guys even understand? That's when black test scores.
Tyler, you like to talk about the problems. We're trying to find solutions, right? I'm giving you I'm telling you, you got to recruit people to become teachers.
You're not one of us. You're not in our community. So why are you gonna tell me my problem?
What do you think? You think test scores excludes immigrants? Is that what you think?
I'm saying the way you guys looking at it from as outside.
In high school, I had a black history teacher.
I'm saying, so the bottom line, you guys keep talking is, black scored.
You think you are fair because you think this is something that we look down on you for. It's not me looking down on you. I'm telling you this. Nobody's looking down on you. You're being so defensive about it.
Like that, But the bottom line is this: we have a lot of problems in Black America, right? That only we can solve, right?
This is not exclusive to you, Kyler. Immigrants are part of these schools, and their test scores are down too.
Let me say something. Our problems to solve, right? They're not friggin' for white people's entertainment.
Tyler, we're part of the population. We're classified as black.
We're not.
Black immigrants are black. We go to schools, and we're part of that number, Kyler.
Bullshit. Saying
they don't separate black immigrants from African Americans when it comes to test scores, Kyler.
Hold on, we're on our own. What you guys do, I care less about. Do you ever hear me ask them about immigrants' test scores? Because I don't give a shit. You guys do your thing. I really don't give a shit.
They're bad, Kyler.
I know they're bad.
Okay, give me the statistic for the immigrants' test score. Separate. That's separate than the Black American test score.
This country, man. Mexican. They said Mexicans are doing really bad. Is education. They're really doing really bad. The Spanish-speaking people, they're really doing really bad. In this country. They're failing all over the place, So it's not just black people and whatnot. There's a lot of people. It's all a disconnect from the mainstream. People feel like they're outside. You can't get people to come into a country and whatnot, and you basically tell them that they're the problem of the country and whatnot, and expect them to embrace the same country that rejects them. What, are you insane? And that's what Thomas Sowell is apologizing for. He's apologizing for white people really saying that no matter what you do, you're not going to be American. You're going to be beneath us. And the guy was just saying, the white guy was reading that to him. That was a power. The people, Woodrow Wilson believed that. Presidents believe that. You know, and that translated to the Senate and all to the local governments, everything, that to disenfranchise a whole entire race of people just because of their race and color. So America is not a good country. You know, any country that discriminates or goods a person because of their race does not deserve respect. That's the way it is. So when people come over here, oh yeah, listen, why you guys do this? There's a reason why. Black America is really never really fully integrated into American society. Why? Because there's a lot of bad blood between us and white America. Bad blood. You know, there's a lot of bad blood between Black America and white America. And a lot of people don't know that. So it's not just easy just telling kids to come to America and sing the Pledge of Allegiance, come to school, sing the Pledge of Allegiance every day. That's a fucking lie. I was tormented growing up. How can I sing the Pledge of Allegiance just learning about my fucking ancestors on chains? You know? So this is stuff we have to deal with our people. We don't have the means. That's why nationhood is so important to Black people. Because we need our own fucking shit.
Post the link, Carla. Dollar Bill wants to come up. Post the link. He's an educator. Maybe he can give you a different statistic.
He's a better educator than I am, because the bottom line is I'm sick and tired of people like acting like they got the fucking answer to our problem and they don't know shit about us.
Jonathan made a point, and I was just trying to give you a possible solution. We need more people to be teachers, black men and women to be teachers. That's it.
I agree with Don's point, but the thing is,
we need our own schools.
If you think they're gonna freaking hand over billions of dollars to Black people and say, no, it's not gonna happen, Elvis.
No, that's what I say. Your own organization of Black millionaires and billionaires should have an organization or agency that go out there and recruit Black students to become teachers. People do that.
I'm not gonna become a damn teacher. That ain't my.
No, I'm not talking about. Carly, you're not listening. You're so. I don't know what's going on with people, man.
Hello, good people.
There are organizations that go out there and recruit specific people for specific jobs and put them in those fields.
Elvis, that's what I'm talking about. You're pissing me off. That's what the fucking government is for.
No, Carl, the government can run everything.
Dollar Bill, didn't I say ultimately we need our own nation so we can solve all our problems? And so he said that argue me. No, you don't need.
Tyler, white people have organizations that go out there and recruit talent.
They're still part of America.
Black people can do the same thing. What are you saying? They're white. Black people can do the same thing.
We're not Americans, We're not Americans like that.
Good evening, good people.
What's up, bro? Elvis with his goofy ass shit, him and Chukwo.
You're just emotional tonight. I don't know why you're emotional, bro.
I'm just sick
it's the regular African primetime plays. Good evening, my African brothers.
Now, Chugo said Umar's building school. You see the ladies in the school, man, looks like a fucking mess. He got a bunch of junk piled up in there.
I mean, he's trying to do something, Colin. He's going to put people that espouse that notion that Black kids do better with Black teachers. And he's trying to open a school. He's not getting the funding that he needs.
It doesn't mean it's talking. He's not serious about building anything. He's playing with people's lives.
It is a funny thing.
He's playing with people's lives.
Yeah, he's a joke. But you know what it is? I hear Perudi in the background. Perudi and I had a deep conversation earlier today. And everybody talks about STEM. And you know what? I think that's sending the wrong idea. Everybody doesn't need STEM. There are a whole lot of jobs and positions that make a lot of money, and they have very little to do with STEM. Is STEM something good for the future? Absolutely. Do you have to, as everyone, have that aptitude? Okay, no, they do not. And there are other opportunities.
Still blue collar workers.
They're blue collar work. Okay, and there are other jobs that people need. I mean, in my field, it's blowing out of the chart. I'm leaving at a time, man, where people are making $1,300-$1,500 a week, and so the opportunities that are abound. The last time I was just checking, some statistics and before I came in here, and it said that 96% of women, Black women graduate with a high school diploma. Thank you, Frenchie. 96% of Black women. I think it was something like 86 or 87 in 2002 for African American males. 87. And I know for a fact that we're not on the lowest. Hispanics don't have as much education as African Americans do.
They really do back with the language barrier.
They do not. So these are myths and fictitious things that people like to say. Of course, if you're looking at a place like Detroit, Michigan, okay, that has a bunch of problems, and you go to a place like Baltimore that have a bunch of problems,
Right.
and of course, you're going to have very, very low rates. But rates can be higher. But what we're really not looking at, right, is to look, and this is not saying that we're being victims. Look at the average rate for a college graduate and look for what white people with just a high school diploma make.
Yeah, the high school.
Dollar bill, that statement is inaccurate. I just went and researched it.
A white man with a high school.
The national graduation rate for black people in this country, in total, both males and females, is 81%. Hispanic is 83%.
No, 96% for black
For
people.
females. Where are you getting that data from? What's your source?
I just finished looking up some stuff for the source. Let me go through my history. I mean, you didn't even say hello, and you want to hear my sources, huh?
Because Sowell was ready to kick me off the platform for not stating source, and I just want to. While you was talking, I searched it up.
You want me to be kicked off, huh?
No, I'm just saying he gets in his feelings, and he gets emotional.
I'm not in my feelings, right? I'm just sick and tired of bullshit, you know. The bottom line, the bottom line, what they're trying to do is start out with this common soul character, you know, and he basically is like, oh well, black Tesco.
The only group of people lower than black Americans in graduation rates are Native Americans.
That's not true.
I would ask Thomas Sowell.
Hispanics are lower.
And Hispanic is at 83%. And black is at 81%.
That don't mean they're scoring. It's right. Is there any Hispanic HBC historically Hispanic colleges in the country?
No.
No.
Are we talking about college graduation rates or high school graduation rates?
I got it from graduation.
You know, we got record numbers of people.
U.S. graduate rates
colleges right now. You know,
U.S. graduate rates. Annie C. Cassie Foundation of Graduation Statistics in 2021. 76% of black boys finished high school.
Mine is from incest.ed.gov. So I got mine from a government website, not a regular.com.
You asked me to give you some sites. Okay, I only had a few minutes, but you asked me. Plus, even the one that this guy was talking about, racial disparities by the Brookings Institute, and I'm sure there are more. Chalkbeat, which has to deal with the graduate for black boys in Newark. Black males, okay, are behind in comparison to white males. Okay, then there's the kids count, and then there was one with the Brookings that actually did it by state. You know, they did it by state. They had a graph there by state. There's one increased graduation rates among African American males, December 10th, 2019.
Just one second, Tyler. I posted a link in the back. You can go open it. That's a government website right there.
No,
it goes white. It goes Asians, white, Hispanics, blacks, and then Native Americans.
Black male enrollment down. Yes, white male. They didn't say white male enrollment is like the lowest I've ever. But who has all the power? White males. You know, so it doesn't matter. College degree doesn't matter. Most black people.
Do you know that the average CEO, white CEO, only has a bachelor's degree?
Yeah, black people got an MBA.
We're not talking about college, a degree attainment. We're talking about high school graduation rate.
Well, you said education. Education don't stop at high school. It stops at skilled.
Tyler, can you open my link, please? Can you open my link, please?
I'm looking at it. What the hell you look? What? I'm looking at it.
So did you see it? Was I wrong? Was I stating something wrong?
Okay. It says National Center for Educational Citizens. It's not a government site.
Did you see the .gov in there?
They'll say no.
Wait, open it on the screen.
I don't see no .gov any place.
Open it on the screen. It says neces.ed.gov.
That means it's actually what government agency?
Elvis, I would agree with you. The only problem is the statistic that Dollar Bill stated is from 2024. between last year. The one that you're stating is for previous years, from a couple of years ago.
All right, so basically, this right here, they got 4 or 5 states. They went Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Massachusetts, Wisconsin. You know, and so it said not available, less than 80%, and 80% less than 90%.
And the graduation year that you posted, Elvis, was during COVID.
So I'm looking at this. It says U.S. HCGR public high school increased overall from 80% from the year 2012 to 87% 2021-22. Over this period, U.S. average ACGR increased by 5. So in other words, overall graduation rates increased. You know, said by race or state, whatever like that. You know, that's I would like to know what state they're talking about. American, Black. So blacks, Hispanics are roughly about the same, but so it's like I said, you know, like I said, all the stuff like that is no big. I'm looking at this what you put up, Elvis, right? I don't see like you would think like 90% of black kids are out of school, not going to school, you know, like that, you know, but it's actually pretty close, you know.
Nobody's saying that, Colin.
So
We're just making a point that it could
what
be.
is the point? What's the point? Hold on. We said from the get-go, what's going to take to basically close the gap, they're not going to want to do. They're not going to basically give black people like $20 billion and say, look, educate yourself or not. We don't care what you do. That's not going to happen. You know, we could turn like Joe Clark. Joe Clark did in Eastside High School.
My suggestion was black people of means can start an organization.
No. How about we don't do that?
And focus on recruiting more black teachers. That's all.
If we get to the point where we don't need the government or not, now it's really time to talk about nationhood. You know, anytime you start talking about
in the interim, Colin, until you can get your African up and going,
friggin' foot.
have more black organization that's focused on the improvement of black males and girls.
We pay billions and billions of dollars in taxes. You tell me we got to still go out there and pay money out of pocket for education? Get the fuck out of here, Elvis, man, please. That's that coward ass talk, fucking Thomas Sowell coward ass talk. You know, you taking out tax dollars. You taking out tax dollars. You better be accountable for that shit. That's how we got to start acting.
That's you know how it works, Colin. A person living in Beverly Hills, their kids don't get the same level of education as the kids living in more impoverished neighborhoods.
Billions and billions of dollars a year in taxes, income tax, everything from utility taxes and gas tax, everything. We pump billions of dollars into the federal government and state government and everything like that a year. I don't want to hear nothing about no friggin' endowment, you know?
Yeah, do you know that? That's what I'm telling you. Private schools, charter schools, they search for the best teachers. They go out there and they recruit them.
That's all fine, daddy. But the masses of people are always going to need public education. As simple as that. You can't basically take 20 million kids out and just start talking about charter school. That's not realistic, you know? So I'm trying to tell people like that. It's more nuanced and more complicated. Dealing with Black America is way more nuanced and complicated than friggin' listening to a bunch of friggin' idiots online acting like they're experts on what we're going through. We know.
Black immigrants are suffering from the same thing. Our numbers are included in that number as well. It's not just African Americans. Black immigrants are included in that number. So it affects us too.
Look, hold on. I'm saying the fact that we did not ask for none of this shit. You know, we did not ask them to burn. When we did try to make it here in America, they burned down all our cities and towns, educational system. They gutted us. They didn't give us the resources and everything while they tax us, you know, and everything. So the bottom line is this: we didn't ask for none of this shit. You know, we didn't voluntarily come to America and say treat us like shit. Whatever. They brought us here, you know, and they took no responsibility for what happened to us and whatnot. And then we tried to do things ourselves. You know how many acres of land, Double? How much acres of land did we lose? You know, that we had post Civil War. We lost
millions
of acres of land, Elvis. You know, these motherfuckers
I mean, Kyle, you're telling me these things as if I'm
No,
over here
I'm
disputing
saying, so
the
when people
suffering
come
that your
up
people
here
went through in
with
this country.
comments
That's not my
over
argument.
Black America, but what we don't do and whatnot, you know, like, does he talk about all the fucking land? How about
Why
Thomas
you
Sowell?
arguing with me? That was Chuka's point. I'm just telling you, I want to look it up, and this is the information I got. I'm not
So Tuco
saying
said Thomas
I agree with
Sowell.
Chuka. I'm only looking at the numbers.
Thomas Sowell's only saying one side of the story. He's not telling you all the stuff that white America took from black people. You know, they literally stole our inventions and some of everything. You know, they don't tell that part of the story. You know,
Thomas Sowell don't talk about them intentionally underfunding black schools,
exactly.
closing black schools in majority black areas when they were going through their financial issues. In California, they were closing all the schools in black majority areas in Oakland, and then we'll be trying to fund the white schools. And with all of that stuff, black people being in a constant state of war. Well, white people, we have advanced, we have thrived. I don't know
Yeah,
where
so
niggas
they hate
expect
the
us
fact
to
that
be in
they threw
2024. Should we be equal?
everything at us, right?
Well,
And
white
the
people,
bottom line, and we still fucking succeeded. You know, despite
and we're
everything.
still succeeding.
We still succeeded despite everything they threw at us, you know. Now they got no more card to play. The only thing they got to play is these fucking stupid immigrants that come here want to lecture us about our fucking heritage, you know. They want to play black women and they want to play fucking black immigrants, you know. Two groups of people that are becoming a nuisance.
But Colin, I wish you would have had this show the other day when that girl Eboland came up here. She was talking about 60% of black
That's
doctors are
another bullshit, you
Nigerian,
know.
and I was just like, where the hell
That
did
was an
she get
outright
that
lie.
information from?
Immigrants are
I
basically
like 40 to
60% of doctors. Get the
50,000
hell out of
black
here.
doctors in the United States, less than 6,000 in Nigeria. Where they get these numbers from? They just be making shit up.
You know, they put it online and people keep repeating it and it becomes the truth, you know.
They just be making shit up.
They make stuff up all the time, right? Like what you call they'll be like, oh yeah, you go to like me. If people didn't know any better, you see me running a nice office of business. Want to see those Nigerians over there? Blah blah blah. No, motherfucker, I ain't no fucking Nigerian, you know. And so they'll come and steal, called legacy stealing, you know. They go to places like Prince George's County, and you swear they built it, you know. You could swear they built Harlem, right? You know, all the new immigrants, they swear they built Harlem. It's like,
Kyle, you are 33% Nigerian.
what?
I said
No,
you
I'm
are
not.
33% Nigerian.
25% Nigerian, but I don't claim it.
Don't run away from your heritage, man.
That's not my heritage. You know, they ran away from me when my ancestors crossed that Atlantic, whatnot. But no credit, that all ended that shit. You know, that ended that. You know, that's the way I see it. And bottom line, we black people in America, you know, we gotta start acting like that. When we start acting like that, then people right now, these Africans don't respect us. You know, they don't respect us whatsoever.
They don't need to respect us. Kyle, is very interesting, right? We can't think of any popular black immigrants in the United Kingdom, Europe, or anywhere else in the world, unless they do music or they do sports or they're in entertainment.
Yeah, we paved the way for them.
Well, where are the business people at? I mean, if they're very successful, they should be successful in the UK. Can anyone name a
They do got
successful?
a couple of Nigerians. Like one Nigerian guy bought a airline. Some Nigerians actually in the UK, you know, basically, you know, that's connected with, because Nigerians they do got that oil money, you know, so don't want to sleep on them. They got that oil
No,
money,
not
you
that.
know.
I'm talking about people who built themselves up, not people who left Nigeria with wealth.
Oh yeah, I don't know about that, but you know,
You saying there's none, Jonathan, or you just don't know a lot of them?
I don't hear about them. Can you name some?
I mean, I know a couple of them, but these are ones that you know. So, I mean, like, I don't know Rachel Dennis, right? It's the Liberian guy that came up and started that company,
yeah, but
Shea Moisture.
Rachel Dennis, yeah, but
Yeah, Rachel Dennis.
he
He
basically
benefited from a black country that black people that founded his country.
right,
He's
and
not a Nigerian.
he basically, unfortunately, right, because I always say he should go back to Liberia and build, but basically he's so African Americanized, right? He bought Madam C.J. Walker's mansion, you know.
In
That's
Irvington.
unfortunate, man. I said Liberians, man. Look, dude, man, you got somebody like him, man. He's a son of your country, whatnot. You should be like saying, come back and build. and whatnot. And he just, I don't know, man. That's just
Probably
sad.
Americo Liberian or something like that. I
Yeah,
think
so
he's a
it's
crew.
like because he's a Congo person.
That's probably why.
Yeah, so and
It must be,
It must be, right? Got to be.
right.
so it's like
That was
so,
a joke,
but he went
Elvis.
through a lot. He left Liberia in 1987 because his family was persecuted. So he had to
Relax,
leave.
bro. You need to lighten up, man. Relax. You Liberians, man, are so desperate to try to be down with Nigerians. That's the other day I was saying. Why are you yelling at me about Nigerians? I got more connections to Nigerians than you do.
I mean, who's yelling at you about Nigerians?
Nah, you get tight, man. You defending Nigerians, and you don't even have no Nigerian DNA.
I mean, I'm not defending them because
this guy
of anything. If they have a point that I agree with, I'll say I agree with it.
No, you agree with them because you think they're African and I'm
Yeah,
not.
I'm accurate though. The only African billionaires in Europe that are self-made, they're all, they're not black.
What about Afro
Or in Europe.
What about Afro dumbass? KBM says
Shouldn't that success that
built himself
they
up.
have
Oh, you're talking about billionaires? They got to be billionaires, Jonathan?
Billionaires, 100 millionaires, they're not there.
Okay. I guess most of them are in Africa, right? Most of the black billionaires are in Africa.
And we can't really trust
them
if they're really billionaires.
The immigrants are supposed to be successful.
Forbes, they don't ever make the Forbes list.
Yeah, I was like I said, my whole thing is, I think there's got to be a better accounting about, well, I mean, look, the bottom line, look, I'm rooting for Nigeria, really, I am, I was back in the days, man, because I was.
I never disparage Nigeria. I think they have a big place to play.
But I think that philosophy that people had about being honest, they're not practicing that. And it's holding them back.
One of my friends, right, back in the days, I was like telling him, I'm moving to Nigeria, man. That's gonna be the next greatest thing. But he was like, okay. Every time I see him now, it's like, man, he goes, what happened to your I was like, well, I was wrong, man. I thought Nigeria right now would be just. I thought Nigeria was gonna be like Singapore, Malaysia, blah blah blah. We'd be able to He goes, Afro dumbass got a PhD.
But Carlo, what skill were you carrying there to contribute to Nigeria?
I was like, yo, look, I wasn't just gonna wing it, man. I was like, yo, look, I thought basically that since I did know business at the time, I had my own wholesaling business, right? I was wholesaling candy, ice cream, whatnot. And I felt I was basically looking at the business like, well, maybe I learned about the science of distribution, how to distribute bulk breaking and stuff like that. I said, man, I can get in Nigeria where become a supplier, something to supply industry with.
Yeah, if you did that, you'd probably be very successful. There's a big market in Nigeria.
Guess what, Elvis? It never happened, It never happened.
And whose fault is that? Is that Nigerians' fault or your fault?
It wasn't meant to be,
Okay.
It was never meant to be. And so, but the bottom line is this: hey, look, it is what it is and whatnot. Like I said, I got like I said, I'm just happy the fact that I got my own business here in America, right? So I could basically be like, okay, Africa will work. I really thought, man, by now I'd be living this African life, especially when the movie Blacks Without Borders came out, right? I was like, that's gonna be me, man. I'm gonna have a condo in Kenya. I'm an apartment in Nigeria and have this luxury house in South Africa, right? I'm gonna take trips.
You can do that, Colin, but you have to have the money for it. You can do that right now. We know millionaires, who are living in South Africa and in other places in Nigeria doing very well. But you have to have the money.
Yeah, but very few. But the bottom line is just it's not gonna happen. I was like, but like I said, I wish people a lot of luck if they do it. I wish them a lot of luck. But at my age right now, if I was younger, if I was like,
it would be different.
It'd be different, But I ain't got years to be wasting.
I'm looking at people making 175. I was coming in here telling people about it, and I'm not flexing or none of that nonsense. I'm saying this for young people so they would get on these opportunities, and do these things. Because my time is, I'm going to do my own thing. I'm almost finished doing it. I'm not trying to run around and jump around to make money. And it's not that I don't need money. We all need money
right now. I'm good.
But I'm saying this for young people, man. And I'm looking at a job, man, $175 an hour. Some people paying $200, an hour. I'm like, wow, man, the pendulum is swung. The pendulum is really swung. If you got yourself a specialty, and it doesn't have to be in STEM, and like you said, I suggest people go into education, because they're trying to get educators in New York so bad. My girl, Mystic Dime, get down here and get some money. I got friends that are in Dubai. They're teaching out in Dubai and don't have to pay no taxes.
Check this out. Angola, right? I got friggin' connections in Angola. You know how much they pay friggin' somebody that could teach English down there, man? A lot of money, right?
Kyla, I don't know if this person is trolling, and maybe it might be a technical truth. He says that Go Back to Africa was born in Libya, and he's successful. He's a successful person.
Yeah, he was.
I thought he was African American.
He is African American. He's an army brat.
But he was born on the base in Libya.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess somebody's claiming him to be an African now because he was born in Africa.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I think
we can't be African
genetically,
unless we were born.
He's an African American.
Yeah. Well, no, he's an African American. His father was stationed in Liberia, where he was born.
Across the Atlantic.
Not Liberia, Libya. Was he born in Liberia or Libya?
Libya.
If his ancestors crossed the Atlantic, don't matter if he was born in Japan, he's still African American. You know what I'm saying?
Kyrie Irving.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. So I think the guy was trying to say he's like a Libyan.
I forgot what country he was born in, but he wasn't born in America.
He was born in Australia.
So there's,
Kyrie was born in Australia.
I mean, this is the situation that I've been having, and people get angry with me because I really, like I told Baruti tonight, I think Pan-Africanism really is something wrong with people, man. I think and I'm not blaming continental Africans. I'm blaming us.
Yeah,
I'm blaming us because I think that we have a mental illness that we have to continuously include people who never include us in anything.
Exactly. No more. And take a look at Chuko says Trump is. I voted for Trump, Chuko. I'm not on WIC. I'm not on food stamps or whatever. But this is how stupid these people are. Do you understand, Chuko? The white people.
What about all the money that they give to Africa?
The white people you love.
What he
so
needs
much,
to do is he's going to stop giving those billions of dollars that is worth more than WIC and food stamps combined to Africa to reduce your taxes. How you going to feel about that?
Well, the foreign aid the United States give to Nigeria, Chuko.
Don't talk about how much money Nigeria gets. Okay, I bet you it's more than 100 billion baby daddies. What about all that foreign aid?
Check us out. Not only that, check us out.
Let me look it up.
Check us out. The poorest towns in America with the highest number of welfare, food stamps, all that, are white counties in Kentucky and places like the Appalachian. But Chuko thinks it's black people. That's not the case. Misinformation. So misinformation. He's gonna hurt us. You'll be hurting the same white people, Chuko. You stupid idiot.
Yeah. What Chuko said, Trump's going to reduce his tax burden. I wonder what he does for a living. He should come up.
Probably nothing.
The U.S. government has bilaterally transferred.
You can tell when somebody trolls like that all day and all night.
Whenever people talk about their income all the time, they're usually lying like a motherfucker.
I'm gonna put it in the chat.
I watched. I be like at work, right? And I'm at my desk, right? And I just go around sometimes looking at the thing who's on and whatnot. If I see you on the social media after during business hours and whatnot, I'm saying, what could you possibly do that's important? That you got so much free time on your hands. And I see Chuko be on fucking Cuba show in the afternoon. Kaiser show, Diane show. These guys everywhere. I'm like,
he's on every show. Supposed to be busy.
He's supposed to be busy doing something with your life.
Just
running
lying.
His business, lying his ass off.
That's another misinformation. Every black immigrant is fucking a six-figure, educated, and got everything. That's a bullshit.
And he's not even an immigrant.
But Kyla, it's crazy because if we look at the median household income, it's nowhere near 6 figures.
I know.
So where they get all this money from? They just be lying.
Everybody thinks
why they lie so much?
Caribbean.
I put it in the chat. The U.S. government bilaterally transfers billions of dollars to African countries, exceeding 1.5 billion in 2021 and in 2022. 1.5 billion. Yeah, he's going to start. And the Agora, the Agora situation with Africa is about to stop.
I know Africans didn't benefit from it. You know who benefited from it? The Chinese, Lebanese, everybody
And
else. That's a
Indians.
free trade. When Africans didn't benefit, they create one factory.
Yeah,
You know,
Chuku, you
but
making moves,
they
all
over
right.
here fucking want to lecture us about what we ain't doing.
You busting moves, man. You busting moves. It's a fantasy, bro.
I'm
It's-
just saying, when we look at the data from the government, they don't make that much money.
Yo,
There'll
hold on.
be
If
two
they had,
people in the
if
household and don't
Africans,
make that much money. That
Africans
doesn't make
had
any sense
manufacturing and they were
for them to
trading
be
in
so
the United States,
successful. It's not
you know
making
how you can
sense.
tell when somebody's successful when you see food and beverage. The first thing they do is food and beverage when they come to a country. You know, you see chain restaurants, you see beer, beverage, and wine, alcohol, and stuff like that, food and whatnot. You
You
know,
trying to say you don't see a bunch of palm wine at the
no,
liquor store?
I would love to, man. Shit, you know, but I don't. I would love to be able to. Yo, look, I would love to give me some fried chicken and jollof rice, man. You know, and some jollof rice. You
Oh
know,
man.
what the fuck, man? I'm like, yo, come on, my brothers, man.
Chuku is the lion. You're the lion. Chuku the lion hearted, man. I love him. I love him.
It's
Yeah,
not
the
his fault
lion
now.
doesn't concern about the sheep. Yeah, that's true though. You know, we're the lion, Chuku. You're the sheep. You know.
I'm telling you, man. If I wanted to get out there, man, I don't want to do it at my age. 175 an hour. Young people, get these opportunities, man. Get out
Yo,
here.
like I
They're
said,
here.
the dollar bill, 800, look, $900 billion a year. The federal government purchases good. Let me show you how. Let me tell you how that works. The federal government basically outsources, right, horizontally, goods and services, right, whether it's transportation, courier services, whatever, warehousing, logistics, whatever it is, supply stuff like that. I wanted to get
Oh, you heard
into.
what she said? They have African grocery stores.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Come on, stop this. That we have one average.
Yeah, they do, but they're not chains. They're not the kind of groceries that you have like with apples and oranges. They're mostly stuff that they import from Africa,
That's
like
not a grocery
yams,
store.
cassava, and things like
That's
that.
not a.
So it may not be a grocery store. It's more like,
That's just
I
a
don't know what you would call
supermarket.
it.
It's a little tiny food market.
That's not even a
Yeah.
supermarket.
I've been in one before. I walked in there like, what the fuck? Nah.
Get out of here.
We had one in Norfolk, right? Check us out.
And they're not usually African. They're like African Caribbean. They're both.
Check it out. With these guys
It's
that
never
go
really
in
just
Norfolk,
one.
right? A couple years ago, I got all
Oh
excited.
my
I
God,
was
Mr.
real
God.
Pan African. I was like, we got some Nigerian brothers that got an African, so I can't wait to go there. Didn't last, right? Because they basically was trying to appeal to white people, and they didn't understand that it was the black people they should have freaking. You know what I'm saying?
What I'm gonna do tonight? You know what I'm gonna do tonight? You know what I'm gonna do tonight? Tonight, okay. If not, you know what? Let me not say it. What I want to do. Okay, hold up. Matter of fact, give me a minute. I'll be right back, guys. Keep talking, and then I'm going to make an announcement for a special treat for us to see, because Mystic Dime is telling us about the African stores, supermarkets here in America. Okay, there's grocery stores. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Mr.
Well, maybe the wording was
They're more
wrong,
like
but
corner stores.
yeah, more like corner stores if you want to call it that. With just more things that you'll find mostly in Africa than you have in the U.S.
Yes.
That's all. It's not supermarkets. It's not like chains of
Let
supermarkets
me
and
get
stuff
Dave
like that.
on. Let me get Dave on.
Oh, good evening, good evening, good evening,
Dave
good
is my
evening,
boy, but
fellas.
he's
Good
crazy
evening,
as hell.
fellas. Good evening, fellas. How y'all
What's going on,
doing,
brother?
man? I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm just chilling. I just got off work. That's all, man. Just got out
What
the
is
day.
this 175 an hour you keep talking about, Dollar Bill?
That's education,
Nah,
man.
there's money out here, man. There's money out here. If you know what you're doing, there's money out here. There's money out
If
here.
you got that, yeah, there's plenty of money. Like I
A
said,
lot of money
bottom
out
line
here.
is a lot of black people friggin'. You look, I had a client yesterday, right? Even though her and I got into it about Donald Trump, right? Yo, this lady's retired, right? Sister's retired, registered nurse, right? But she got her own business on the side that does nursing, like whatever, like that. And she gave me a couple of clients, older white couple. And what I said, this older white couple, they live in a freaking black neighborhood. I was like, 'cause I thought they were black, right? I went that way. I said, what are y'all doing living on Churchland? I said, well, we've been here since 1977. They're like living in a black neighborhood. Anyway, me and her were arguing, but the bottom line, she showed me her paperwork, right? I was wondering why she was paying so much for her Medicare Part B. and she in her retirement is making $106,000 a year. You know, I'm like, holy, she's 70 years old, make $106,000 a year. So you got people out here making real
Money
fucking
out
money.
here. It's
You
money
know,
out here. I was in like in college. I used to do a lot of e-commerce, you know, selling eBay. There's a lot of money out here. eBay, Amazon selling. There's a lot
oh
of money
yeah.
out there, man. A lot of money out here,
Once
man.
you get your niche or what you're gonna sell. But like, if I was, look, if I was one of these Africans, right, and I had access to a country with all that cheap labor, man, shit, I'd be rich, man. You know, I'd be rich. You know, $30 a month is a salary, man.
You would think that, Colin, but a lot of people they don't find success in that. They do imports from Africa. They have little stores
No,
and
I'm
shit, and
talking
usually they go out of
everything from
business after like a couple of years.
clothing lines,
I know a guy
everything.
who's
You know,
doing good in Atlanta, and I do business with him. He's got a nice he's got a like a import export business. He's a former soccer player, and he imports and exports. I wanted to, somebody, I asked
Do
him
you know
to
his
maybe.
name? I might know him. Is he Liberian? Is he Ghanaian? Nigerian?
He's Nigerian, from northern Nigeria.
Okay. But we have a Liberian that's doing something similar with
Yeah,
anyway.
I'll probably tell you off there. I'm not gonna tell you his name up front, but he's a brother that I do business with. Pretty successful brother. I know he's already a millionaire on his way, but he's a real cool dude, real nice dude.
we had this one Liberian brother. His name is Wilson, right? And
Mhm.
he's friends with my guy Naya, right? This guy was brilliant, right? He was in Clearwater, Florida, right? He had an aha moment. That's what he had. So anyway, basically, he went back to Liberia. Do you know the Shang beer
Yeah.
and lived in Liberia? He came up with $100,000, right? And he went to the Chinese and got an exclusive distribution. And he also Liberia. What we all like about Liberia is the laws are similar to America's, right? Where they enforce, like if you have a brand or some licensing to distribute something, they really enforce that. So the Lebanese who do that, right, got to freaking pay him a royalty, even if they basically sell that
Wow.
beer. It's called Shang beer. It's a really good beer. It's a Chinese import. And liquor, they got liquor too. So anyway, this guy just opened up a hotel, a 5-star hotel in Monrovia, and this guy is humble as hell, man. He said he got like 20 employees, or not. I think it's called Ocean Breeze. I think it's called. It's nice. He said he has a dream.
Yeah, I
And
know that spot. I know that spot.
oh,
I
you
know that
know him,
spot.
right?
Yeah, I
His
know
name's
that spot.
Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, he says he wants to build is like Clearwater with marinas and stuff like that. I said, holy shit, man. So basically, this is a young guy. This guy's only in his 30s, And so basically, he's like, man, I want to build. I didn't get a chance to interview him. I was supposed to interview him when I was there, but Mamani and I were supposed to interview him, but we never got around to it. But I talked to the owner of the Calabas, right? He told me about him, right? He said, yeah, man, come. We're all gonna sit down and have a drink, me and owner of Calabas,
Well,
And
you know what I'm saying here, right in America, if you were able to get enough people who are really interested, we could, there's a lot of black farmers. There's a lot of farms that are available. The whole idea is that if our people actually got together and worked together, okay, we could purchase farms. I happen to know a black farmer, okay, who has his own place in Georgia, but there's a lot of farms in Georgia that are available, and they have irrigation, and you can get tractors. You don't need a lot of people with today's technology.
one tractor does the work of like 30 people. Africans don't understand that.
So when I tell people
gotta
that,
have hundreds of tractors.
what? Yeah. So what I'm trying to
hundreds.
tell people, there's a lot of land here in America, right, that is available. But like you said, we have to see ourselves first as a people, right? And we have to move as a people. And I get it, I understand Pan-Africanism and so on and so forth. But I think what we do is advocate our responsibility to our community and not do what we're supposed to do for ourselves, right? And this is why, because we're not functioning, like you said, as a people.
As a
People
people,
function as a people. They move as a people.
well, black people always talk about Jews, but take a cue from Jews. They function
Yeah.
as a people. You know that kosher shit is bullshit, dollar bill. You know,
I know all about kosher.
check this out. The kosher is simple like this. They say, "Is it kosher?" Jews won't buy nothing that's not kosher. And then when I dig deep into it, it's just about it's basically a way of circulating Jewish dollars in Jewish hands. You know, and
Well,
maybe
it's more than that. It's more than that.
it's cultural too. But
It's
money
a
like the
cultural
dollar.
ritual, and because of that, right? Because
It
it's a
benefits.
cultural, it benefits their people, and so it's not about going other places. It's about a responsibility, and I always tell people about duty and responsibility. If these so-called FBA people were really interested in doing something other than just fighting with
Asking for a
immigrants
reparation check.
and asking for reparation checks, okay, and really buckle down and do the work, okay, and work together and do. If we just fed ourselves, forget just feeding. I mean, we could feed anybody. Anybody wants to buy apple or orange or a piece of pork. I know I'm gonna get all the Israelites and I'm gonna get all the Jews. I mean, all the Muslims screaming, "I ain't no pork," because pork is a meat that pays for itself from the rooter to the tutor. And if we were able to do those things, if the Muslims wanted some halal stuff, if the black Israelites, if they wanted their lambs or whatever they needed, if we could feed
We basically
ourselves.
what I think is if we basically coordinate black restaurants and black stores. I would say black restaurants, right?
I would sell to anybody. We don't care. We'll sell to anybody, but we got to be like the Amish, the Amish. We got to be like those people, right? They'll sell to anybody. They don't
Right.
care. You want some Amish cake? We don't have any. We have to stop just
You know what
thinking
gets me is
it's
dollar
about the
bill.
black
You know what
power.
gets me is dollar bill.
Yes, sir.
You look at the people, the Nation of Islam in New York City, right?
Mhm.
Upstate New York, but there was some people back then, because I knew a couple of people who went upstate New York because you got all these like communities like the Amish upstate, because I grew up around them, the Hasidic Jews,
Yeah.
and the communes upstate New York, small town, and we even have boys towns, a pious home for boys,
Yes.
in upstate
I
New
used to
York.
work for Pius 12.
He was working pious. Yeah, a lot of my friends
Yeah.
were pious, boys home on it. I'm saying, why did the Nation of Islam break to say, look, have somebody have the vision, they said, let's build our own small communities throughout upstate New York, Why didn't that happen? Why did they stay on the street corner, right? They could have built housing and create factories like the Amish, perfect example with the Amish, The
Yeah,
Amish
brother.
festivals and everything.
It takes work.
Yeah, it takes work. Yeah, that's the whole thing. It takes real work.
People, people talk this political thing and they get out and they rabble rouse and then they talk. It takes work. People don't want to put in the work to get things
Can
done.
you tell us about, somebody asked a question about the new, the Republic of New Africa. Can you break that down for us, Dalva? You was telling me about it.
Yeah, a friend of mine, Robert Joyner, used to work with those guys, and they, a lot of them had to flee to the South because of the things they were experiencing up north. And what he found out was these guys couldn't live off the land. They didn't know anything about husbandry. They didn't know anything about farming. They couldn't do anything. And see, this is what I'm saying. You got Tariq and all these other individuals talking about they're going to go to Africa and they're going to create an Africa inside of America, and you don't even know how to plant, right? So you have to be able to. It's work, and people don't want to do the work. And see, that's the issue. If we get out and put our hands to anything that we do, we can do it. But we have to stop just, in some instances, I like Chuku because, other than the rhetoric that he spews, we have to get back and get into the work. We come from working people. The last conversation that we were having when I was on was about relationships between men and women. And so one thing that black men didn't know how to do was to have these, relationships. But one thing they did know how to do was how to farm the land. They learned through slavery how to farm the land, how to produce. Well, how do you know that? It's because after slavery, before they got their own farms, they were sharecroppers. And they were actually in a bad situation, got themselves out of those situations, and were able to secure and buy land, right? So they knew that land was tied up to real wealth in this country. Your ability to be self-sufficient and independent relies on your ability to have land. And so people don't know that when you go to certain places, even if you were to go to Zambia, okay, you can't own any of that agricultural land. You can own some homes, but you can't own agricultural lands because that land is explicitly for the people who are from those lands. Read the law. And so I'm telling you, you live in America. If you're going to take a stand, hey, the guys, we're going to take a stand. Well, if you're going to take a stand, then get some land, get some opportunities, because people have to eat all the time, right? And so you get yourself some land, some brothers that are willing to work that land, some sisters who are willing to till that soil and work and produce, then we can do. Then we can do it. Then we don't have to argue with immigrants and all that other stuff. You know, we can do what we got to do. And then when we go to a place like in Afghanistan, then we've got viable skills that we can transfer, that we can say we can do something. How did the people come from America to Liberia over 200 years ago? Because they knew how to produce. They knew how to till the soil. They knew how to build buildings. They were blacksmiths. They were masons. They had the requisite skills to build a nation. I died, I give up the mic. Hello? Hello?
We here, bro.
Oh, I'm like, I said I give up the mic.
Yeah,
Somebody
I
else
hear you,
speak.
Dollar Bill. I hear you, Dollar Bill.
I'm yielding, bro. And that's the beauty, right, Carla, of those people who went to Liberia. Forget the politics. Let's talk about the building, the infrastructure.
Exactly, man. It's so remarkable. They went over there. They brought their skills.
Yeah.
They brought their skills. That's the best thing about Liberia is the proof that we can actually do it. But the bottom line is, how can we match the black men and women of the 19th century?
Carla, do you think the native Liberians knew how to farm and do animal husbandry?
Well, hold on. First of all, Elvis, do you think
Yes.
farming in
There you go.
Africa society was done by women? Our ancestors went there. The farming and the labor was done by men. It's a difference. Women in African society do. Or you go to places like Ghana, men sit around and women do most of the backbreaking work. Us, it was just the opposite.
They knew how to farm.
Over there, we start taking to the land.
I mean, Jonathan, I don't even want to argue. I'm having a
They
nice
didn't know how
afternoon.
to produce.
That was a yes or no answer. They knew how to farm. They wasn't over there starving.
They didn't know how to. They could farm for themselves, but they didn't know how to yield stuff. At a high level. But you got to realize that
those people were over there alive for years and years and years.
Not about being. It's the difference between being alive.
They wasn't dying of starvation.
It's a difference between existing and producing. See, that's a whole different thing. It's a difference between eating for today, and being able to eat for generations to come. It was a whole different thing.
Dollar Bill, they did.
Dollar Bill, they had big farms in Nigeria and other places. Africans knew how to farm, bro.
Like I said to you,
we can't tell people that they didn't know how to grow food.
I'm not saying they didn't know how to grow.
Years.
I'm not saying that, man. You're taking it as a personal affront. I'm not saying that. I'm telling you that the South at one time, fed the nation, and they did it through slave labor.
The world. America,
what happened.
America South produced like 2/3 of the world's agricultural goods at one time. So.
They did not know farming on that level because they
and the majority of the farmers in the South are black people.
Yes,
we were the main workforce.
We were the main workers. Yes. What do you think they brought us here to do? To dance?
The people in Africa, we have to be fair here, okay?
They were
They
not
weren't
producing
exporting food to other
exactly.
countries.
They were
They
feeding
were
themselves.
feeding themselves.
That's
It's
fine, but we were
subsistence.
talking
It's
about
local.
enough surplus to not just feed yourself, to feed others on a large
You
scale.
fed the same people in the same country. You fed yourself.
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about, okay, a system that produces and yields enough food, okay, to feed a nation. That's what I'm talking about. Not
They
just
were
yourself.
nations that fed themselves, Dollar
I hear you,
Bill.
man. I hear you. I'm. How come they not feed themselves now?
I don't know about now,
Well, okay,
but
if
back
they
then
knew
that
all
wasn't a problem.
if they
Back then
knew all of
Africa
that,
used to take care of
why
Europe,
why
used to
if they
export
yeah,
food. What are you
if
talking
they
about?
knew
We
all the
failed. We
stuff that you
failed, Jay.
said
We
that
failed,
they
bro.
knew, if you said the things that they knew, why are they importing all of this food that's being sent back to them right now to this day in
The very same
2020?
reason why the black community is buying food from white people.
No, black people buying food from white people because we don't have the farms or live close to the
Why?
farms that
Why?
we
Why
used to
don't
live
we?
to. Because white
Why don't we?
people, because white, because the federal government, okay, gave away those lands that white people took by terrorism. What white
And
people
whatever
were
white
running
people
around?
did to black America, they did the same shit in Africa.
That's not true. I don't know. No, it's not. It's not even on
You
that
can't
scale.
you can't have the
No.
African continent producing more food and sending that food up to Europe while sustaining themselves. Then out of nowhere, once they gain independence, they're no longer able to produce that same kind of output.
Show me some data.
Yes, there are no white
That's
settlements
bullshit.
in West Africa.
Exactly. That's some bullshit.
There's no white settlements in West Africa, bro.
If they were doing it and they were producing it, why aren't they producing it now? Because there's no
And
white people.
Jonathan, I'll give them this. I will concede this point to the two of them, especially in Liberia. We import rice. You know, rice is our largest import. We import rice that we eat, our staple food, and we have arable lands that grow rice. But our government haven't done anything to mechanize the harvesting and growing of rice. So we have to import rice from places like India, which makes subpar rice and things like that. So yeah, so I think in terms of industrializing our farming sector, something we just haven't been able to do. And it's not because the people don't have the knowledge. At one point in time, under Samuel and even before him, we had the LPMC, who that was doing large scale farming, but it still wasn't
It was actually
mechanized.
Colbert. Hey, do I need to play the video? It wasn't no Samuel Doe. Do I need to play the video? Samuel Doe.
That was
Okay,
illiterate.
okay, Colin. So they had large scale farming, but it wasn't mechanized to the level that it should be.
Samuel Doe, please stop
They
it.
took over something that the American Liberians had, and then they ran into the ground.
He ran into the ground, man.
He couldn't even spell right. Stop.
I got a question though. Is rice indigenous to your area, Elvis? Was that something you guys always ate?
Not my area in particular. On the other side of the country, rice is really popular there. On my side, we eat more yams, cassava, and potatoes and things like that.
So back before the colonization part or whatever, y'all ate the foods that y'all were used to having, right?
Right, for sure.
Okay, so y'all wasn't suffering. All right.
No, I know that, but I'm saying now, Jonathan, as a nation, we should be able to cultivate on large scales to be able to feed the entire, nation with rice and other things that we eat. And some people think we might have to go away from rice because it seems like we can't find a way to cultivate on a large scale.
There are people in Liberia that are growing rice right now.
But you can grow rice in Liberia. Grow rice in Liberia.
We got Liberians.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said?
You know what the problem is, Elvis, is that the United States of America imports fucking rice. We import a lot of damn food.
Yeah, we do
it's
too.
like only American farmers are producing food.
No,
for
that's
the
not
country.
true.
Yeah, America
That's
don't
not what I
produce
said.
everything they
Dollar
consume
Bill,
on a
when I
large
go to
scale.
the store, my rice is from Mexico.
Right.
First of all,
I got rice in my kitchen right now from Tibet.
People.
It was
That's not what
When I
basmati
go
rice.
to the store, my beans are from somewhere else.
But at one time, the rice cultivation in South Carolina itself rivaled all of Asia. Just in that one area, it rivaled Asia.
I bet, and the population was a lot smaller back then too.
Yeah, and the population was mostly my Gullah Geechee people.
Yeah,
Oh,
and the
and
population was
that
smaller. But as
rice,
population
that
increases,
rice in South
you
Carolina
can't
hit the
just
market
match
from Europe.
production. So you got to get the
Hit the
food source
market
from
from
somewhere
Europe
else.
and around the world. And some of that rice was dumped in the Indian market, and some of everything even competed in the Chinese Asian market. You know,
I don't think they eat a lot of rice in Nigeria, right? I think they're more like starch
They
based.
eat a lot of
Rice is
rice.
starch based. They eat a lot of rice. Okay, I thought they did a lot
They eat a
of
lot
like
of yams.
fufu and cassava and yams and stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought that's what they
The only
ate.
thing they got to work on is that the rice that's grown in Nigeria becoming with special shit that ain't supposed to be there, rocks, stones. Saying
Yeah,
They gotta
and
clean it up.
that's one of the
you
hardest
got to
things,
figure
Jonathan.
that
When you
out.
do, when you do what we call the country rice, you got to sift it. You got to use a fender, as we call it, and usually you got a little rocks in there. A lot of people don't like eating the country rice. I don't know what the West does to get those things out of it. I don't know how they harvest the rice, but we have a lot of dirty rice, as we call it, and
Yeah, but the locals don't like country rice.
that's what I'm saying. Because sometimes you have rocks in there. You chew that shit, it
Locals
might
like
crack your
rice,
teeth.
Right? The locals like American rice,
bro. It's one
Firestone,
thing to pick
India.
beans and shit and do separation. It's another thing to be picking rice.
Yeah,
Ain't
that's
nobody
what I'm
trying to
saying.
do that.
The automation, that's the key, because I'm guessing these countries have machines and factories that can automate and separate the rice from any like undesirable
So tell Mike, don't call me
things in
cotton
it.
picker. Tell him call me rice picker.
Yeah, because the country rice, man.
Elvis, the land is fertile in Liberia to grow that same kind of rice.
We know that, Dave, but to grow it on a large scale that's going to feed a nation is hard.
You know what I mean?
No, you need machines, Dave. You need tractors. You need other kind of
We didn't
specialized
have
machines to
machines.
cultivate it.
We didn't have machines.
Dollar Bill, what college? I just don't want to argue, but let me tell you what Kyla is telling
We
you.
didn't have machines.
Kyla, what Kyla was talking about, that was a program that the United States started that was bringing rice into Liberia. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't say
So it
that.
was the surplus rice that these farmers had that they couldn't sell, so they transported that to Liberia. That's what the LPMC was really in charge of. And the U.S. even had a report that the guy who was in charge of it embezzled, I think, some to the tune of like $60 million, and they had put a report out. So my point is, it wasn't something that was completely Liberian, Tolbert, like Kyla was trying to brag about Tolbert.
Rice.
It was Americans that was helping to subsidize that entire program.
I wasn't arguing with you about Liberian rice.
No, you was making fun of it. You were saying that it was something that the American Liberians started, but I'm telling you, it was heavily subsidized by American farmers.
No, that's not what I said.
The
What
Rally
I said
Time
was,
project. The Rally Time project of Tolbert was basically to Liberians to grow their own rice and stop using imported rice of friggin' Firestone and other people that were importing rice. That's what the thing. He wanted but Liberian basically said, "Oh, Tolbert's trying to starve us and whatnot." Because they, Liberians got tricked by the Americans and made it seem like Tolbert was trying to starve
Kyla, the Tolbert family have a rice farm.
What? Look, it was up country.
So what?
Let's not have Liberian history wars again.
I need to put this video, Elvis.
That video don't tell you what I'm asking. That video doesn't answer the question I'm asking you. His family literally had a rice farm and he was going to monopolize it.
Hold up. Check us out. First of all, at the time, right, Tolbert kept telling the people, stop flooding in Monrovia. Go back to your homeland, your up country. We'll finance you the farms. People didn't want to do that. All they want to do is hang on the streets of Monrovia. How you think you got to Congo Town, Because you left there and get on freaking Congo Town, Nobody wants to go back. Nobody wants to go back to their indigenous tribe. He was trying to encourage you guys, go back to your tribal lands.
Yeah, because it was undeveloped, not like how Monrovia was developed.
You could
and people didn't want to be in the undeveloped region.
Develop your own shit.
That's not how it works. If you have a government and people are paying you taxes and you're benefiting from the resources of the country,
how did you get taxes?
Dollar Bill, you guys, getting more and more egregious every day. We have what they call the hut taxes. Kyla knows history. What was the hut tax, Kyla?
Look, it was like your girl Conformula said.
So people living in huts, Dollar Bill, it sounds strange to you. People living in thatched huts was required to.
A hut tax.
No, but I'm telling you, because they live in huts, they had nothing, but they were expected to pay taxes.
A hut tax.
So when you said we should develop our own lands and our people are paying taxes and getting no development, that's why I'm upset that you made that statement.
I'm sorry, but how much could HUD taxes been?
More than they could afford at that time.
It don't matter. They shouldn't have had to pay no damn HUD taxes.
No. Okay. How about this then? I got a better idea. What you have basically said, forget the HUD tax. We want to become. You could have easily have been part of France, right, Elvis? Now you know what France was doing. France was saying, "I'm charging y'all a head tax, not a HUD tax, a head tax." That means you have 5
Carla, you just made a good point, and you want to break down your own point.
No,
Those people was being charged HUD tax.
Yeah, but hold
because
on.
they occupied a land that was under the jurisdiction of the government, but they had no development. And you're telling me to try to insult my people. Why did they leave their own developed village to go into a city that was developed by the resources of the country that they're part of? I mean, come on, man.
Look on the other side of the border where Ivory Coast and the French had it when it's completely not developed. You guys at least somewhat developed a little bit, you know. Look on the other side.
Are they still developed, or are the lands there still?
No, it's empty. That was a good place for an African to hit the land. It's a good place because
so you got the country, and you still haven't developed your lands where you used to.
They can go back there now.
That place is still not developed today.
What's the excuse for that? You got the land, you got the country, okay, and so where is the development?
They suck. That's the reason.
Where's the development?
You
got nobody to blame no more.
Bro.
You can't blame the
African. All yours, Elvis. Liberia's all yours. Y'all paid for them.
Elvis, why are you being loud with your goosey suit?
My bad. Sorry.
Y'all paid for your land in blood. I live by that, right? Land is paid for in blood. You know, you paid 1980. Y'all had y'all revolution, whatever y'all convinced yourself that was right there. Hey, look. Let me tell you something. This is all I believe, right? The native people, right, fight all this stuff we're talking. I guess they didn't feel Liberia was their story. The Love of Liberty brought us here. They're like, I didn't love it, bro. I was already here. And so bottom line said, basically, we got to get rid of redundant country that don't represent us. So they went to war. They went to war.
But Carla, has the country made any is it ass backwards in comparison to what it was?
No, my whole thing is this, right? Liberia is a very pleasant, but you got some nice parts that really like you're on Tubman Boulevard, you swear you're in New York. Parts of Monrovia, you swear you're in New York City. You know, that's what it got.
But was it like that in the past? Because I've seen old videos of Liberia look like.
Monrovia's always been the big city of West Africa. It's always been a big city.
That was the New York. It was like the New York City.
Like New York City. New York, like
New York City of West Africa.
You know, and then
but after the war, are they worse off still today than they was back then?
No, this is a lot of improvement. I give them
worse off, Jonathan. It's worse off than what it was.
It's worse off.
Dave, when was Dave born?
It's worse off, bro.
When was you born, Dave?
Why you want to know all of that, Elvis?
No, I want to know because you're saying it's worse off as if he was alive during that time to see it and to see it today. Compare.
He was born in 78.
No, hell no.
Compared to Liberia in the 1970s.
86.
Yeah, right.
86.
Liberia was way better. Way better back then.
Was you born in Liberia or in America?
I was born in America. Why you gonna ask me? Why you want to know all that, bro? I'm American citizen. I'm here, bro. I'm good American. What's up, bro?
Oh damn.
I mean, I just asked you a question, bro. Don't talk to me with a mouthful of marbles. I'm just asking you a question.
Why you getting upset with the brother, man?
Yeah, I'm homegrown, bro. What up, bro?
I'm only telling you that. Now I'm done eating. Now I can talk to you.
Better. I read it in the encyclopedia.
Oh, okay. You read it in the encyclopedia. Yeah. All right. Like Colin is being honest on that point. Look, it was war. War is destructive. It destroyed infrastructure. It destroyed, the moral fabric of a country. It was quite destructive. And unlike most countries who go through a terrible war, we didn't have billions or hundreds of millions to rebuild. So we started building back slowly, Jonathan. So there are improvements, but it certainly is not.
Elvis, something said about the fact that the level, and I'm not going to criticize my Liberian brothers, right? But when y'all basically took the friggin' the coffee dam, copyrighted that shit and stripped it down the bare and pull up the telephone wires and sell the copper on the black market.
Rebels.
If there was
rebels was doing those things.
If there was no revolution, where do you think the country would be now?
Oh, Liberia would be like Singapore right now, easily.
Yeah,
You know?
man.
Well, can I ask you a question? I caught the tail end,
Yeah,
Elvis.
bruh.
Elvis,
You
could
know,
you
the,
give
you
me
know,
a?
the '90s, they was teaching us. You know, that's when the computer. You know, that's when computers was just coming in. They missed out on that age.
Can I ask something to Elvis?
'90s, baby.
So Elvis, I caught a little at the tail end. I don't know if you were on the show or you were in the background. They were
No,
talking about.
I'm taking a break for at least until the New Year's.
I know it's me who's making you take a break, but anyway, can I ask you a question? What was the situation about the reconciliation? Could you just give us? You don't have to give us a whole thing, but you know.
Oh, I don't know if you heard me on that show on Thursday. I was on there. Not called in.
You didn't see me comment?
I didn't see it. I mean, maybe you comment, but I didn't see your name. But the point with the reconciliation, right? That's why that's why I'm frustrated, because the country is kind of stagnated right now.
Okay.
And politics is even more stagnated.
Hey, man.
But the thing is, after our war in 2003, when we had the United Nations mission in Liberia coming to the country in 2003 August, we had an interim president, and he was there for 3 years, and then we had elections in 2006, and we had the Truth and Reconciliation Commission that did extensive work, did a lot of interviews. You can go on trc.com. You have video, testimonies of people giving you their experience during the war, perpetrators and victims. It's quite riveting, actually. Some of the terrible things that happen, you can watch those people telling you. I spent hours and hours watching those, interviews and testimonies. But the point is,
my personal opinion right now.
Colin, I mean, let me just share this 2 seconds. This is very important. So,
let the brother speak. Come on, guys.
After all these years, they did their research, they did their investigation. They came up with the conclusion that there should be retributive justice, meaning punitive justice, and to those perpetrators, people who perpetrated the war, especially those who were in command.
Is that the 1980 war, or is that the one?
So that's why you gotta let me explain it, Dollar Bill.
Yeah,
somebody got to mute, please.
It wasn't me, but
restorative justice is those who, their property was stolen, they had assets that was lost during the war, to restore those things. And then the retributive part would be the punitive part that would punish those, the perpetrators who was responsible for the largest share of the atrocities that happened during the war. And they also made a recommendation that was controversial and perhaps was the main reason why we never implemented our TRC, that the president, for her role at the time, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, she was very instrumental in the formation of the NPFL, which was led by Charles Taylor. They recommended that she be banned from politics for 30 years. That was their recommendation to the sitting president. So she had the authority to implement the TRC, but in doing so, she would have put a sanction on herself from being actively involved in Liberian politics. And this was just her first term of a 6-year, term.
Just say Liberia was a.
1 second. Carla, just give me a few seconds. I want to kind of lay it out. Dollar Bill has a good question, and I want to lay it out. So she kind of kept it to herself and never implemented that, that commission. So we never went through national reconciliation. So those ethnic groups, my ethnic groups and other ethnic groups that was fighting, a tribal war, for lack of a better word, we never reconciled. There was calls for also the American Liberian and the Native to also do a reconciliation, because there was also hatred and tension between those two groups as a whole. So we wanted to do really a comprehensive, reconciliation process that was thwarted by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, because she was going to be punished in that report. So that was in 2006. And I think they concluded their work in 2008, I think. And since then, we've had successive governments, but there's still underlying tension. Even right now, what's going on with tribal bigotry. We have Prince Johnson, who just died, who is from the people from Nimba and my people. He was the one that killed Doe, who was a crime, the president at the time. So it's a lot of old wounds that has been ripped open, and there are fears in the country that during his funeral, there might be violence, because we never fully healed. We never had our reconciliation. And now the tension is really, really high. So that's why they had that show to talk about it, because things are kind of getting bad and underlying tribal tensions are starting to rise its ugly head again. So that's kind of just a synopsis of it, a dollar bill.
Do you think y'all gonna have another civil war?
We definitely might have another war.
We gotta go
and
protect
that's why
America Liberians, y'all.
That's why it's important that we should have had that reconciliation process.
Hold on. Let me say this. My brother Ross breaks it down. Look, check this out. He did a video, and I'm gonna start finding my videos and post so you saw exactly. He broke it down on Providence Island. Me and him went to Providence Island last year, and this guy is so fucking brilliant. That's my he's a Liberia BAO chapter president. Anyway, he broke it down. He said Liberia was an uncivil war. There was nothing civil about that war. It was an uncivil war. In other words, basically, we asked him what was for. He said, "Look, it was just a complete breakdown of law and order, anarchy, just everything. There was no civil war. Has two sides. You have North or South, or this was no civil war. It was just complete anarchy. And 1 minute you could be cool with somebody, next thing you know, you're killing somebody. You got to fight. Everything is spotted every day. People fight. 1 minute you're on somebody's side and whatnot, and next thing you know, you're shooting at each other. That's how it works.
Right. So dollar bill. One more last thing that I forgot to add. Okay. On the show on Thursday, I called in and was asking for recommendations to how do we move forward. And my recommendation was we take a pause in governance for at least 2 years, have an interim government. We can formulate a new constitution. We can formulate certain things that we need to imbue into, especially the young generation coming up, and try to find our moral compass again after the war, and try to reconcile. Take a couple of years to really do it. Take a couple steps back so that we can move forward. Because what's going on right now could blow up in our faces in the next couple of years. So that was my recommendation that we need to do.
Is that how it works? If all you people that could participate in Liberia Online would go to Liberia, and knowing that basically that the wrong mistakes it could cost you because you're right there in the thing, then you'll see something happen. But as long as you sit in the comfort of America, talk about what we got to do, it's never going to happen because the people on the ground are like, you guys are talking and stuff, and we got to live with the consequences of it. People instigating stuff on Facebook and stuff. That's what they say to me. They say like you guys are on the ground and everything like that, and what you're saying, whatever like that. You're
Carly, you know about Liberia, so you understand some of the intricacy of the country.
I know.
We had to pass a law recently in the last couple of years that allowed, Liberian born, who had taken up citizenship of another country, like people in the US who became US citizens. You can't buy land in Liberia. You couldn't own land in that country once you had a citizenship of another country. You couldn't run for public office.
I know several people that own land in Liberia. They don't have Liberian citizenship.
I'm telling you, in the Constitution, right? So legally, it was in there. And they had to pass a bill.
That was a law that created in the 70s to bar like people coming there and stuff like that. But that law has been challenged as unconstitutional. Any black person could own land in Liberia. You got 3 types of land in Liberia. You have traditional land, you have government land, and you have private property. Private property is the discretion of anybody to buy and sell private property. Traditional land, that's up by the traditional people, like the native people have a lot of traditional in the interior and stuff like that. In some parts of Monrovia still. But the bottom and the government land, you go up the Cape Mount, up the highway up the Cape Mount, that's all government land, If you want that land, you got.
So I was making this point because of what you said, Colin. So like people who are dual citizen, as we call them, dual citizenships holders, can have certain position in the Liberian government.
No, you can't run for president. You can't have government. That's look. If I was in Liberia, I was there like 2023 for the elections, right? I was there for the election when it was registered for elections. I was at the polling station where it was registered people for elections, right? And the bottom line is, I seen these poor people.
You were registering people, or you were just there with a buddy of yours?
No, I was there with my wife.
Okay.
And so we was at the polling station in Burrillville, And so basically, we were there registering people and whatnot, stuff like that. For the line was long.
That's what I keep saying. You were registering people?
I wasn't registered. I was just there.
That's why I keep saying when you say we. That's why I want to find out.
I was just there observing. They let me observe. And then Dr. Kula, Dr. Kula, she was there too. She
Oh,
was there.
Carice Cooler.
Yeah, she was there too. That's my girl right there. Anyway, she basically we were basically watching it go down, and like I said, what struck me is like I seen this one lady came up. She's like a little lady. She's like in her 30s or 40s, whatever, like that. And she comes taking some what is it called, the KKs? No, what's the
Keke.
not the KK. It was the motorcycle. What are the motorcycles called? Pen. I think they're called motorcycle boys. Well, anyway, she took that, dropped off, right? And she sat there. And when I looked, she's got off like work. Because these Liberian women work like with me jobs. They're making it. Liberia reminds me of Black America back in the 70s. Every friggin' bit of strength and everything is just, it's like Black America in the 70s. That's what it reminds me of, Anyway, she got up there and whatnot, and so my show, I just can't wait to vote. Then it dawned on me, right? I said, now she has to live the Liberian reality, I said to myself at that time, that's when I best really changed my mind. I said, there's no way I could basically ever have citizenship here, and basically knowing I can go back to America, knowing I could be out of here any minute, and I have cast a vote, and my vote is equal to hers. That's unfair, And I said, like a lot of Liberians that live abroad and whatnot, they would come back to an election time.
Paula, I advocated for that on these platforms and these shows that I participate on, and people got mad at me. That we shouldn't have the same rights as those people who live in the country.
Of course.
Because one of the things is we have an economic advantage. We make US dollars. We can go back home and do a lot more, and we can wield a lot more power, but we don't have to, endure the suffering of the people on the ground. When things are not going right with the government, we can leave and come back. So people are like, no, I have a home back there. I have business interests. We should have the same rights. I'm like, no. And they didn't understand that. And I'm glad you saw that for yourself while you're on the ground, because those people are suffering. They have no escape routes. We have escape routes. We can come back to this country. God forbid if Trump doesn't deport all of us, we can still, come back to this country and have a means to make a living. So these guys go back home. They want to go in there and challenge these, politicians and run for offices and steal money. Like we had a lady called Ellen Cochran, very smart lady, one at MIT, Liberian lady. She was the head of our aviation unit. She was a Apache pilot in the U.S. Army. Very, very intelligent lady. She went there at the head of our National Aviation Agency. She stole a lot of money and ran back to the United States. And our government was trying to extradite her back to the country, and we couldn't extradite her. But, like we say in Liberia, as God could fix it, or as God would fix it, she did the same scam during the PPP thing when we had COVID. She stole like $6 million from the government in Georgia, and she got caught up, and she's serving a prison sentence right now. But the point is, these people come from the United States. They're highly educated, of course. They're well qualified, but they're criminal-minded. They go in there and they rip the countries, and then they run back to the United States, pay off their mortgages, pay off their, get new houses and things like that, and we can't touch them. So they have some kind of immunity when they come back to this country. But they want to go in there and compete with the Liberians, people, on the ground who don't have the advantages that they have, being that they have the economic, adjacent, to the American economy. So I was against it, but George Weah passed a law that allow us to have certain rights. They restore certain rights for dual citizens. You can, you can vote.
He's
back home.
That's good.
To do a lot more things than before. But you can't be president. You can't be vice president. You can't be national security advisor. You can't be minister of defense. Certain key, strategic position you can't hold if you have a dual citizenship. That's all.
George Weah's a dual citizen. You know that?
Yeah, we knew that. Ellen Johnson, Sowell was dual citizen. We had a lot of people that were. And one of the things I want to give Liberian props for, right? I was thinking about it today, and maybe this is in my blood. Maybe that's why people say I'm a sin. Maybe it's just part of us Liberians. But we love to put women in power. Right now on our Supreme Court, 3 out of our 5 justices are women. We had a vice president, a female vice president. Before her, we had a female president. Our speaker, our Senate temporal, is a female. We have a Minister of Defense, is a female. Our Minister of Defense is a female. So we have a lot of females represented in our government. We're not afraid of women leadership in Liberia. Or I
That's
guess
good
in
for
other
Liberia.
countries,
Yeah,
men
yeah.
are afraid of women leadership.
Yeah, that's
Y'all
good.
should
I
just
think
start a
the
Liberian
women,
history
I think the
channel.
Yeah.
women are doing better in
Thanks, man.
Liberia than the men.
If y'all don't start your own Liberian history channel, you two together, or add Dave in, I don't know. Well,
David
every time
just
you have a show, this becomes Liberian history channel. I learned a
Frenchie said
lot
we're
though.
always off topic. It's basically Jonathan's fault. No, it was my fault this time.
It's
This
always
was
your
my
fault,
fault.
Dollar
About
Bills.
this
Your
information
fault,
and
and no
propaganda.
Dollar Bills always your fault. But you
Yeah,
ain't
that's all.
responded to no
I'll
comment
say like
section
this.
shit yet.
Everything.
I
Look,
want to
every
know more
90%.
about this
90%.
misinformation and
90%
propaganda.
we talk thing that we hear in social media, the media is just misinformation and propaganda floating around. It's called pablum. When you just basically keep saying stuff over and over, it becomes the talking points. Like just Chuko, he has a pablum puking idiot. He just speaks up
I
pablum
like
all day.
Chuku, man.
No, man, he's a
I
pablum
like him,
puking
man,
idiot.
because
But he insults.
of
Like
course,
dude, man, he insults. Like, I don't like you. Look, you gotta be respectful.
you
You
know what
can't
it is.
tell me.
Chuku likes to talk crap, and that's just the African American in you, right, Chuku?
No, it ain't no African American. He's a punk, man. He's a punk. The bottom line is, look, he puts up some statistics that didn't make any damn sense and whatnot.
I like
Just
Chuku,
prove
man.
what he's saying and whatnot.
At first, I didn't like him, man, but I like.
I don't like
Chuku.
him at all. I don't like Tuco at all.
I take turns not liking people.
He's a full of shit.
Jonathan was on my nerve the other night. So I was.
Well, you said some crazy shit. That's your fault. Stop saying crazy shit.
Colin, why you didn't come on last night? What happened? You was too tired?
Yeah, I'm too tired. Look, man, this is my last couple of days in open enrollment. Saturday's my last day. I got to go to my office.
I had to do my open enrollment at my job.
What you call it?
I get health insurance and all of that. Health insurance is fucking expensive now, man. That shit went up.
I work around the clock, man.
It is really.
And tomorrow I got to work all day on Saturday when I canceled an event I was supposed to do because it's too cold out there. And so I'm just going to work in my office all day tomorrow when I just finish up. So I've been busy when
Colin, you know what I thought the topic was going to be about? That shit that not Chuku, but Zango brought up. I thought you was going to clarify some information. I thought people didn't.
That
I did too, Elvis.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was about.
I
wasn't even worth
already
talking
said what I need to say about that
worth
situation and whatnot. If you don't know, you know. If you don't believe me, ask Jamal.
If you don't know, but now you know.
And so the bottom line is when people start saying about, I heard this, well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's not what happened,
I don't even think it's about that. I think what it is people don't know how to move on, right? So you've moved on and you're doing your thing.
He's like a scorned woman and whatnot,
There you go.
Hope's like a scorned woman, dude, man. It's been 6 years.
Colin, you say you're not going to talk about it. Don't mention Hope. It's not.
You talking about it?
But you asked, I'm like, I moved on and whatnot, and Hope don't really want me to make him play some of the videos from that Rwanda trip, I got Jamal got that. This dude, they got stuck in the bush on a safari, right? It's stuck in the mud. and the gay boy CT was out there. Jamal's out there trying to push it out of the mud. Holup is in the fucking van, didn't get out. I said, dude, that's when I got mad. I said, you're supposed to be the fucking leader, man. You're supposed to man the fucker. You're supposed to be the first one out there. So, all right, man, let's do this shit like that. He sat there, I'm gonna make vacation. I paid for.
Is he overweight, Colin? Does he have some health issues?
He's in good shape.
Okay.
He's in good shape.
Maybe he was scared of snakes and wild animals, man.
You're a man, And this is what I'm talking about. This guy wants to lead me. That wants to be
Colin, that's not a you can be brave and then you can be stupid. It's not a terrain that you know. You can't just go out there willy-nilly and a rhino come and sideswipe you.
Other guys were out there. They're in the bush, man, and whatnot. Where anything can walk up, and they're trying to get out of the mud. Nighttime was coming.
Colin, what did you do in that situation, Colin?
Well, I'll be the first one out the van. That's what I was.
Okay, all right. Did you go on that trip, or you didn't go on that Rwanda trip?
I'm a man.
I'm asking, did you go on a trip or that was just them?
What? No, I wasn't.
Did you go on the
trip? That was
okay, you didn't go on that trip.
On
so you didn't know the full situation, Colin. You just trying to punk him and you think he's listening to me.
All on video. All about it. Jamal had it all on video.
So basically, he was being a pussy. Not all leaders lead from the front, Colin.
Oh yeah,
Some
right.
leaders will tell you run in the battle.
Right.
I'm watching you.
I got my good shoes on. I'm on vacation. I was like,
Yeah.
2 hours.
Dude didn't go out there to wrestle with lions and tigers and shit, Colin. He went out there for a good time. You gotta understand what he said.
I'm a fucking man. You don't used to that.
Oh, we get it, Colin. You about your man, but you wasn't there to save everybody.
Man, hold on, Elvis. You know what a man is? Not saying I'm.
I don't know what a man is, Colin.
No,
Tell me what a man
just saying, whatever the situation is, you just handle it. Like
You go head first into it, huh? You don't
matter, man. See, you don't even
assess the dangers.
right? You're not a real
Okay,
man.
Colin.
You gotta think about something.
Okay. They were trying to handle you in Kent Mountain. You got scared. You talking about you handled it.
Is any other man on the panel know what I'm talking about?
We know what you're talking about, man.
Colin, you almost got kidnapped and you registered to the embassy after you left Kent Mountain. Stop it.
What are you talking about?
What happened in Kent Mountain when you guys are on the road and those guys
What the hell are you talking
and
about?
those you talk about it all the time on the show, how those guys try to extort you. Those guys.
First of all, nobody tried to extort me. I was in freaking Nimba. You know?
Right. What happened there?
I handle it like a fucking man. I said, look, motherfucker, you got something like that, you know? And
Let me go. I'm telling you.
I would tell everyone, that boy Berkey said this is my passport. If you touch me, I will call the U.S. government.
I want to see your ID. So I gave him my passport. You know what I'm saying? Anything else? You know? Anything else? And my driver was like ready to fucking throw down and whatnot, you know?
Oh, Colin.
So the bottom line, Elvis is a fucking
Your driver was scared for his life.
Right.
I don't fucking fear. I fear nobody in this world.
Okay, Colin. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, hold on, but I'm just telling you the truth. That's how I am.
What happened in Cape Mount? What's the situation in Cape Mount?
Nothing happened in Cape Mount, you know?
Oh, what was it? Robertsport? Robertsport is in Cape Mount.
Yeah, that was last year. And once I said there was some incident when the guy was trying to sell some makeshift fucking thing, but my guys that was with us, man, we had weapons too. So
okay, Kyle. All right.
We're down. Oh, you think we're gonna sit there, Elvis? I know what you think. You think you savages are gonna fucking just roll for
Kyle, what did I say? I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything, Kyle. What did I say? What you saying fuck me for? What did I do?
Pick another meal, Elvis. It ain't gonna be Colin.
It ain't gonna fucking go down like that, bro.
I ain't saying nothing, Kyle. I just asked you a question.
I'll fucking kill you, man. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I'm saying? It's up to me, I'll fucking end your life, you know?
Oh, Kyle, relax, bro.
Yeah, so I was telling you, man. It's about what would you do? What the fuck you think I'll do?
What do you expect Harlem to do in that situation, Colin? You wasn't there.
Yeah, but I didn't even judge him.
You look like a person who's afraid of snakes. You see a cassava snake coming to you, you probably run away, Colin.
I'm just saying the fact of the matter is, he was basically talking all this stuff about, he's some fucking leader or whatever like that. And the bottom line, even the gay guy that went on the show, his boy CT went on thing. The gay guy was out there pushing, man. You know something.
Colin, you think Donald Trump is a leader, Colin?
Yeah, he's a fucking leader. That's why he's.
Oh, he never won a war. He got boom spurts and he didn't go to Vietnam.
He won the presidency, right?
So not all leaders go to the battlefront to fight.
Look, I wish the guy. When he got shot in the fucking ear, he got the fuck right up and said, "Fight."
Colin, we're not talking about that. We're talking about somebody who didn't want to go to war and say he had boom spurts. Away from a war. Oh, you don't know that, Colin?
How you know? What does that got to do with right now? You know,
I'm trying to tell you that not all leaders, because you said Trump is a leader, and sure he is. He's been president. He's a leader of a political party, but not all leaders are war ready. They're not ready to go on the front lines and fight.
Elvis, tell me what does Donald Trump get out of this presidency? He doesn't get paid. He doesn't take a salary.
He gets power, Colin. He gets power, and he can influence tax policies. He can influence regulation that may benefit him in the future. He gets power, man. Come on, he's not doing us a charity.
Basically, he put himself through all the shit. Trial, felony.
Colin, why are you acting so aggrieved about this white nigga that probably don't really like black people?
No, I'm just saying you brought his name up there.
I'm just talking about the leadership thing. I'm not here to talk about politics.
You asked me, was he a leader?
You consider him a leader. That's what I'm saying. Like, hold up,
white America.
He could be a leader and not be somebody who wants to go on the front line and fight.
Elvis, it does not matter what I think, right? White America to like.
No, Colin, forget Trump. Let's go back to Holler. We're talking about your Holler trip. Trump is not even the main topic of discussion.
Don't talk about Holler trip. Colin wasn't there.
I wasn't
Right, that's what I'm saying. He's saying that the guy's not a leader because he didn't go out there and put himself in danger,
No,
and I
said he
disagree
can't
with
be.
that.
Look, I said he can't be my leader.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You consider Trump a leader, right? He said,
Look, the bottom line is
and he don't go put himself in
I haven't
danger.
somebody, even fact that man, like I said, when I see people like I didn't like when I saw that lady. What's her name? Dollar Bill that was on Dynasty Store. What's her name? I forgot her name.
African the Gilded Age. What was that?
No.
Oh, I
what's
know
her
what you're
name?
talking about. Fowler.
Yeah.
Alexis Fowler.
Yo, I'm saying like this: when the fact that those ladies were harassing her and asked for money and whatnot, and Dyson stepped in, I was talking to Dyson about that. I said, dude, that's not good. You're a leader. Like, well, you know who's a freaking leader when you're out with him? Bomani. That's a fucking leader. He was like, I was like second in command.
So Bomani was leading the pack. He was his deputy.
He knows what he's doing. He was a fucking thing, man. It was like,
No, Kyle, the thing about leadership is it's not monolithic. People can be leader in certain things, and you can lead them in other things.
Organization, you'll never have anything because you don't give respect when respect is due, and honor when honor is due. Bomani, he knows everything about tourism and whatnot.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to insurance, you could be his leader. When it comes to selling insurance,
it's my business. I don't teach.
That's what I'm saying. So he knows about tourism more than you did.
I'm saying like this,
but you know about other things that he doesn't know.
Hold on, I'm saying when it comes to this movement and stuff like that, the bottom line is I told when Romani's on tour, he had that tour so friggin' ran that tour so tight whatnot. I was just amazed because he was a friggin' anytime.
But you've never done it before. Had he done it a couple times?
He's done it many times,
Right, so that's why he's good at it. If you did your tours, you'll be good at it too.
20 years of doing it, he knows what he's doing. And so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, well, I think it doesn't matter what the fuck I think.
So why couldn't Holub be a leader? Don't you think he's smarter than you?
Who?
Holub?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't think he's smarter than me. Everybody knows that he's not smarter than me. He knows a lot.
So what is he good at? What is he good at?
Brilliant guy. As far as his analysis of shit, and debating, he's like the best. When it comes to debating, he's the best. But as far as like having the knowledge I have or something, I know. No, he hasn't studied like me. He doesn't know what I know. He hasn't studied like me. He knows that. As far as debating and stuff like that, like me and him, the last real debate we had was over Bill Cosby.
And what did he say? What was his position?
No, he don't like Bill Cosby.
Yeah, I don't like Cosby either.
I do. I love Bill Cosby.
Because he's a what?
I love Bill Cosby.
I don't like him because he's a hypocrite, Colin.
How's he a hypocrite?
I said it in the comment section. You got mad at me, but I'll say it again.
Let me ask you a question.
Don't stop. You're being good tonight.
What about Hugh Hefner?
Is Bill Cosby in the same category as Hugh Hefner?
That's why he used to party.
Hugh Hefner did the same freaking thing, drug women, stuff like that.
But then he was trying to browbeat black people into doing good and being upright people and start sagging and leave certain cultural things alone. But he was there being a degenerate himself.
No, that was during the time of the 70s.
He earned that right
to talk to black people like that. That's the shit they were doing in the 70s. Man, come on. That was 40 years ago.
He says the way he browbeat black people. The bottom line,
told him the truth.
Sort of leadership.
Did he tell him any lies?
He didn't know he wasn't telling no lies. He was telling the truth.
Colin, you said you mentioned how one of the things you like about Cosby was that he refused to have one of his daughters date white men in the show, right?
Yeah.
And what did he do? What did he do in his private life?
He wasn't dating no white women.
He presented to us like the Cosby Show, the Fat Albert and the Cosby Kids.
Yeah, but what was he doing in real life, Colin?
He did his private life wasn't my business.
Okay.
What the Bill Cosby that he gave to us is
That's what I'm saying. You're being a hypocrite. You're giving a public facade, but behind the scene, you're the opposite of it.
You know how many people that in history, right, that people love, whether it's Walt Disney, whatever like that were like terrible people behind the scene, but we still.
Who love Walt Disney? You love Walt Disney, Colin?
I say I love Walt Disney. I'm saying I'm living him an example.
White people love Walt
Disney. Disney is like one of the biggest things that ever created.
Yeah, he's an anti-Semite, bro.
Who cares?
He's a very racist person.
Hold on.
Most white people are racist.
People still use the Disney name and brand, right?
Most white people are
that's not
racist.
important.
You don't think white people, just the idea of you saying that you're white, okay, is a racist thing.
That's what I'm saying. Just by identifying as white, you know?
There's no such thing as white people until you came to
Identifying
America.
by your skin color, thinking you're superior to somebody because your skin color. That's what Thomas Sowell don't freaking understand. One race of people looked at his skin color and said, I have dominion over all these other people who don't look like me. That's unforgivable. There's no, you cannot build no civilization, you can't build no country, you can't reconcile with
And
that,
it's based on a lie.
And it's lies.
The whole thing is it's been verified that it's a lie. And yet and still they're not going to give it up. You know why? Because they got privilege for it.
Or sit there and try to tweet out some statistics.
What about white people who turn around and make excuses for being white?
White supremacy lies.
And you know what they don't think about when they do these statistics too? About Hispanics? They're not thinking about those white Hispanics. They're not factoring in those white Hispanics.
Okay? No, that's completely similar to white culture.
You have all those Cubans in Florida. They don't even consider themselves Latinos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're white. They're basically
white
part of the white community, you know, in every aspect. I graduated when I was in high school.
Okay, Kyle, tell us what are some of the lies and misinformation. Give us specifics.
Okay, I'm telling you. I'm saying one specific thing they putting out there, how black women are the most educated, all this stuff like that. What I'm trying to say tonight is directed at the straight black male in America, right?
Are black males getting more college degrees than black women?
It doesn't matter. So what's the point?
No.
But they're making more money.
Black men still make more money than black
No,
women.
you guys, you can't switch it, right? We're talking about education. We're not talking about income. You said one of the lies was that black women are more educated than black men, and it's a fact. Now, when you say do they make more money, that's a different conversation.
Getting a degree. No, what happened was they're the most enrolled in school. You know what I mean?
So black men graduate from college at a higher rate than black women.
They're the most enrolled and they get the most degrees.
There you go, Jonathan. That's the first misinformation that was proved to be accurate information. What's the next one, Carla?
Does it make a difference?
No, that's what Carla said. And I'm just trying to say we're trying to get specifics, and he said one thing, and that was
fucking talking, man.
Okay, go ahead. I'll mute. Go ahead.
I said like that. I wasn't finished what I was saying. Right? I said the myth is that black women are most educated. No, they're most enrolled in college because a lot of black women have time on their hands. They basically, when you're on welfare Section 8, they give you money.
God. The guys, are you hearing this shit, Jonathan?
Elvis.
You sound like Chuka right there.
90% of this stuff is paid for by the state because we got in places like New York, we got Pell Grants and stuff like that to help people with college education. And then the rest of it, you get student loans or whatnot that they pay back.
Yeah, but Kyle, a lot of these people pay taxes, so.
But Kyle, the key here is, do they get more college education in terms of degree? Go ahead, Jonathan.
Everybody else.
It's like the whole thing is okay. Now let's ask them what are they getting degrees in? They're not getting degrees.
College education, you have to do certain things.
Hold on. When you talk about education, what are they getting degrees in? You know,
what is education in? You can be educated on anything. It means to have a higher learning education in a specific field.
It don't matter what they get degrees.
Right. They get more degrees than black men, so it's a fact. Let's leave it. It's not a big deal.
It doesn't translate.
More of them going to school than more black men. Of course,
that doesn't change. That doesn't change across the spectrum. Whether it's black women, white women, they're all women. They get the weirdest degrees ever, but they're getting their degrees.
Yeah, you get degrees.
You can't get mad at them.
Right. So they're the most educated. So that's the first one.
That's why I say on the same time, why is Stacey Abrams talking about black women? These are so-called educated women, right? That degrees, right? Why are they freaking talk about you got to give them $800 a month as a supplemental income?
You think Stacey Abrams was asking for that money for herself, Carla?
No, she said black women.
She want money.
I don't know. I haven't heard that policy, so I won't speak on it because I don't know the details.
Well, let's look for it.
So what's the second one? So that first one we proved it was accurate. What's the second one?
And the bottom line is the fact that we have basically misinformation going around about like this Igbo chick, right? Black immigrants are just basically so vital to Black America. They're doing all that's just a lie, you know. It's a fucking lie.
Now I heard that from Evil Land. I don't really hear too much. But be specific on the claim, Colin. Who's claiming? And what's their exact claim? So we can debunk it.
And the bottom line is this: you really in a million years think that this racist country? See what they're about to do to this guy Holman? That's Morningside. These guys aren't playing.
What? Who?
Yeah,
the borders are.
Tom Holman. Yeah,
these guys aren't playing. He's talking about he's ready to arrest the mayor of Denver. Like these people are playing, and that's only Hispanics. If you ever thought that,
Carla, you're going to a different section, right? The conversation is clearing up misinformation, propaganda. Right. So what is the second one?
Another myth, not just black immigrants, right? There's this myth going around that immigrants contribute so much to the economy. Actually, illegal immigrants costing American people $180 billion this year so far.
Okay. I'll take that. Well, how so? What's the nuance of it?
The nuance is that we're paying taxes that we shouldn't be paying. You know, why should
no. How are those illegal immigrants causing the U.S. $180 billion?
That's what it costs. $180 billion.
How? In what?
Everything, the food, the rent, the medical care.
So you're telling me that illegal people who should be deported are being supported by the government?
Yeah, they getting all that. They're in 5-star hotels in New York.
The illegal people they need housing, and so when people want to get housing, the illegal eagles want to get the housing, they increase the cost of housing.
Bus companies getting rich.
They're a burden on the system.
But brother, I'm gonna let y'all go because I haven't argued with anybody today. I didn't curse anybody today. I'm feeling kind of religious, you know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be on that much longer, man. Because
I got my Ubuntu on, thanks to my brother.
Your Ubuntu.
You know, my Ubuntu. You know, Ubuntu.
I don't dollar bill because you're not arguing with nobody. You want to leave early?
Yeah, before I get pissed off. And say something.
Nah,
crazy.
I stay.
You like hearing me. You like it. So you can
stay.
Say,
don't leave.
Crazy old man.
Don't nobody want to be without the crazy old man. That's crazy.
If Mystic Don came up.
You want me to log into the comment section and talk shit about you so you can respond? I'll do a dollar bill.
You wouldn't even let me talk about. But everybody seems to be pretty calm. Today. Mystic is chilling out.
Yeah, let me log in and talk shit about dollar bill.
Elvis and Tyler taking shots.
Everyone take shots at dollar bill so you don't leave.
I'm good.
She didn't take shot at you. She was just trying to tell you that he had the data on that thing about the high school graduation.
Dollar bill.
Ubuntu Frenchie.
Dollar bills, old government job ass.
Ubuntu.
Yeah, we don't have the usual suspects in there. Chuku's out. A&M is not here. Zongo is not here.
Yeah,
so you don't got people talking about shit.
Dollar bum.
I miss Zongo.
Lisa.
Dollar bill sitting in the chair in the shower.
Lisa Nicole Jackson.
Okay, Jonathan. I mean, Colin did black FBA young Lions, so that's why you don't see people tagging it.
Yeah, that guy's my brother, man.
Man, free that guy.
The kid said something about Colin black, so he blacked the nigga.
I don't know how to unban people, so.
Yeah, FBA young line on this will be funny, in the comment section.
Yeah, he be going at dollar bill for some reason. I don't know what dollar bill did to that little nigga.
I didn't do nothing to him.
It said, he said if the dollar bill wearing a life alarm around his neck right now.
That guy's crazy. FBA young lion.
Yo, I miss him.
I know you listening, FBA. Where's that crazy guy from Canada? That guy.
Oh yeah, Ben Yusuf. That nigga he got anger problems, bro.
He's like, motherfucking children, man. Give me my goddamn money.
And every opportunity he gets, Africa is the crackhead whore who sold her kids. I said, oh shit. This nigga got anger issues, bro.
Reparations to fund education. Motherfuck the education. Give me my goddamn money.
That nigga wanted reparation at all costs, Carla, by any means necessary.
What about the children, brother?
What about the children? Fuck the children.
We told that dude he was like African. I ain't no fucking African. I'm never fucking out. I said, oh shit. And then he said women He said some women deserve to get their ass. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude, bro?
He's crazy. He's crazy. I already got Baruti, man, saying I tried to get him to teach me some Ubuntu. He said to me tonight, I don't know, man. You know, it seems like it's gonna be a waste of my time. You know?
Nah, Baruti put in the chat that you didn't listen to his advice he was trying to give you, so you give you a thumbs down. You didn't listen to shit he was saying.
I told you. He told me.
Yo, hold on. My whole thing is about the Ubuntu, right? It has to translate to an Ubuntu bank, Ubuntu industrial zone. You know what I'm saying? It has to translate to something tangible. You know, this feel good stuff about Ubuntu sounds good, man. You know, but we gotta start building shit. Why is it that the Asians? Let me tell you something, man. What is it about Asians, man? Little tiny Asians, they could basically they built their region up, right? Industrialized. There's not one African country with a subway system. Come on, you know.
Yeah, we got to
There's
get
not
it.
one-
We'll
there's
bring a
not one-
subway to our brothers.
Not a subway system, but Nigeria got a couple trains
man,
running
ain't no
up
such-
Man,
north
them
in
unworking
Lagos.
trains don't
Yeah.
count, Elvis.
ain't no
We gonna
fucking-
get a
Now they
subway.
got some new light rails, right?
No, ain't talking about no damn light rails, nigga.
We're gonna bring a
They
subway.
had a train thing that was just commissioned recently, and I think it was
man,
Lagos
yo,
or somewhere.
please.
Elvis, they'll have a train commission. That motherfucker will be working for about a good 3 weeks, and then oops.
I gotta go now because you're getting
All right,
off
brother.
Ubuntu.
All right, Dollar Bill.
All right, my brothers. Peace.
We just gotta get it together, man. You know, just
So what's the next one, Kyle? I'll give you that one. I think that stereotype may not be true entirely.
okay. Yeah, another propaganda is Africa rising. It's not rising. You know.
It's definitely not falling. It's
Kyler.
rising. I disagree with that.
Africa is
Yeah, things are improving. More businesses, more commerce is happening. More development is happening day by day. It's rising.
That's a whole nother show. That's a whole nother show.
Africa, I did a show.
What do you think, Dave? You think Africa is not rising, Dave?
No.
Yo, son, I don't see it, man. I don't see it.
Kenya's rising.
Yeah,
Just
I see
Kenya.
pockets.
Yeah, but for
I see
who?
pockets.
You know, check it out. When you go to
I see
Kenya,
pockets.
it's Indians, Arabs, Europeans, and Africans just got jobs. That's it. You know, same thing.
What is the word rising
Hey, at
mean,
least
Kyler?
they
What does
got
it mean?
jobs, Kyler.
Yeah, but they ain't
What Tyler, I think what Tyler means rising.
Chinese, everybody else doing the
I-
They're
real.
making $2 an hour. They all right.
I think what Kyler means rising, you know, I'm talking about like, you know, modern day infrastructure.
Yeah,
being
they
built,
I was
That's gonna take time.
The Africa
All right, the
rising.
infrastructure ain't bad in
So I
Kenya
basically
now.
told
Well,
people
Nairobi.
like Kofi, man, go to the continent, man. You're gonna like that.
I
Man, I feel
mean-
bad, man. You know, because he's over there now.
The infrastructure is pretty nice in Nairobi.
Tyler want the infrastructure to be like, yo, I want to get on the train from Monrovia to South Africa.
And no,
Well,
I would say,
hold on now.
I
The
would settle
infrastructure
for,
in
look,
America ain't as good as the infrastructure in Germany.
I would settle for a highway and a rail line, a high-speed rail linking Monrovia with Freetown. Why hasn't that conversation ever happened? You know,
They ain't got that kind of money, Kyler.
no, they got that type of money if they wanted to. They could touch the
do it.
toll.
Nah, they could do it. They could
tolls,
do it.
everything.
If they want to do it, they could do it.
Where that money coming from?
They could build, operate,
They could do
transfer.
it,
That
man,
means
if
they
they
could
want
make,
to.
let's say the
But yeah,
Chinese
they could
build
do
it,
it.
and they let the Chinese have a 30-year lease, charging tolls and taxes of the use of
So the
highway.
Liberians and Sierra Leoneans can't do it. The Chinese got to do it.
So if that's what it takes, you know, that's because it's called BOT, build, operate, transfer.
For me, I will let them do it and let the Liberians work with them while they doing it, watching them
skills
how they
transfer
doing.
and
You
stuff
know,
like that,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Let me tell you something about Africans, right?
Let them build it.
All the Africans
work
care
it, and
about
let them be there working with them, getting money. You know,
Africans,
be
as
there
long as
working
you
with them,
create
getting
jobs
money.
for Africans, that's the whole thing is this. It's so
And they be
easy
learning the
for
system.
Africans because all they care about is a job, you know? You don't want to take much, man. You give them a uniform and a job, they're happy. You know? So bottom like this. It's the truth though, man. You give them a uniform and a job, man, you know, and give them a title and whatnot, and they're happy as shit, man. You know, man, you should be able to, man, you guys
Kyle, it reminds me of a bad experience I had at the Ubuja airport. I was on my way to fucking the UK, and this dumbass working at the gate gonna ask me if I had identification on me. I gave that nigga my passport. He was just like, "This isn't identification. This is a travel document. You need like a driver's license." I'm like, "Motherfucker, at the airport? Like you work at the airport, at the gate? Who let you in this motherfucker?"
Yeah, there you go. They got that power, man. Africans love that little power they get. You know, man. You know,
A little badge. Get them a
That
little
was
badge.
embarrassing.
Form. They good.
I feel so bad.
So the bottom line is, so they
I was
built
like,
the
y'all letting
highway.
they be
And then
having
you tell me,
immigration officers that
I'm
can't
not talking
type
about a
worth a
regular
damn
highway.
on
I'm
the
talking about an
computer. Like, what the
I'm talking
fuck?
about an expressway. You know, linking, let's say, all the way down to Monroe. I don't know if we go Monroe, maybe to Cape Mount. You know, and then you go get at least big like.
We
Come
talking
up,
about
Frenchie.
we need infrastructure.
Come up, Marie.
That's what
Bottom
college
line,
is.
ain't nothing going on without no infrastructure. You know,
I don't see. I
Tyler,
don't.
you're talking about a country like Liberia. Liberia's not Africa. There are things going on in other countries. There are, infrastructure
like
being
what?
built.
Liberia
The
is
whole
small,
continent's
but Liberia is small. You could do
more in Liberia.
a good 30 billion could build
Yeah,
Liberia.
but we don't have the money, Carla. Our entire budget is like $780 million
Because y'all
on
don't
an
want
annual level.
they don't want to
expand,
maximize.
man.
They got to maximize the economy. You're not maximizing the
That's a
economy.
lot of money, Elvis.
No, not for a country. A country budget is, we've been trying to get to $1 billion,
That's a small budget. That's a small
annual
budget.
budget. It's a minuscule budget. It's very small. I think it's the smallest in
Liberia
the
doesn't
entire
want to
continent.
invest in the private sector or whatnot. That's how you
They
let the
got to invest in
Lebanese
that
take
private
over.
Well, all y'all gotta do is just send back remittances to the government and then let the government do the thing.
No, remittance is not enough. What you need in Liberia is major investment in industries. And
Don't
stuff
tell
like
me
that.
Nigerians send more money back to Nigeria
and whatnot.
than the whole government of Liberia
I had
collects.
5 different people.
Oh yeah.
Had proposals to build a rubber plant, tire plant in Liberia. They all fell through. You know,
I thought they had one.
all it is.
No, that's Firestone. That's not the government. The government owns it.
No, hold up. No, my brother Sam, right, Cooper, he says he can get to the point where all the tappers in Firestone, he can get them to friggin' if they ever built that tire place, whatever like that, because most of the tappers sell to Firestone, you know. He says he could he's forming a tapper association. He can basically break the monopoly Firestone has on the rubber tappers, you know. And so the bottom line is this: but the government of Liberia is not interested in that. They're not thinking long term. But there should have been a tire factory in Liberia years ago, you know, and stuff like that. But they don't want to do that, you know.
Anything pertaining to rubber, they should have some type of manufacturing to it.
They should have manufactured vertical integration, horizontal integration.
I mean, Kyle, you talk these things. These things cost money.
It takes.
If the government is very able to sustain itself, they don't have extra money to invest. 96% of our budget right now goes to reoccurring expenditures, like salaries.
You know, only thing Liberia needs right now. You know what Liberia needs right now? It needs to friggin' commission its first stock exchange, right? And then people the private sector can invest in all these.
Let me, Jonathan, you hearing this dude? We just talking.
It's easy to have on the stock exchange. Food's market.
Right. What are we gonna be trading, Kyla?
Hey Dave, these guys just don't know. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is that if you could basically make something, that's why what I would like for you guys to do, go study the Japanese, how they did it, you know? Japanese, when they took over Manchuria, right? This is what happened. The Japanese
Kyla, the Japanese had the US to help them.
No, they did not. You know, they
in both knowledge and in money.
They did not have the U.S. Hold on, they didn't have the U.S. out. This was before. This was back turning like the 1900s, right?
Oh, Japan was really industrialized then, wasn't it?
The Japanese basically raised capital on their stock exchange, and they loaned money to banks. Banks loaned money to factories and whatnot. Factories produced goods, added value to them, and they was able to print more revenue. You know. That's how.
Are you saying Japan was industrialized before World War II, Kyle?
Yes, it was industrialized. Japan was industrialized in the 1880s.
They were industrialized before World War II, not World War I.
It was industrialized during World War I. Now, how do you think they defeated the Russians? You know, in the Russo-Japanese War. You know, that was the Japanese built that thing.
And after all of that was destroyed, how did they rebuild
it? Because the Japanese are amazing people. That's why. They're not you.
United States of America.
United States of America. There you go.
America. Hold up. First of all, United States.
I mean, Kyla, you think the Japanese are better than the Americans, Kyla?
Let me tell you something. The Japanese got a thing. Their financial system was controlled by this group called the Zaibatsus.
Oh, Kyla, we know this. The Mitsubishi and the Hakusakis.
Yeah, like this. They basically, these clans go back hundreds of years and whatnot, and they all interlock of finance each other and own businesses together and stuff like that. That's how they streamline their economy, you know. The United States government. So yeah, they went to the United States private sector, brought Ford and all these other people in to help them build the auto industry and stuff like that. But then,
Carla, you literally had the U.S. military occupying Japan during that time.
They had the
So-
U.S. But the bottom line is Japanese, Toyota, Nissan, Datsun, Nissan, and Mitsubishi took over the world as far as auto production. You know, that was them. And then they took over the U.S. market. That was them. You know, and by the 1980s, America was like, man, the Japanese, American Chrysler was in trouble. They couldn't
But
sell.
Carla, they were able to come into the U.S. market.
They was able to come into the U.S. market, yeah. But after they basically sold in the U.S. market, right? Then they start building factories over here.
Carla, would you buy a Katanka?
I don't know what that is.
I think you meant to say katana, Jonathan. Katana.
It's called Katana.
An African car.
Yeah, katana, the
Take
sword,
that
right?
damn K off then.
Hell, fucking no.
The sword, right? The sword.
It's the
Hell
Ghana car, right?
Get the fuck out.
Oh, you mean okay? You're talking about the car? It's called katanga. Yeah, you're right. I thought you meant the sword. It's called katana.
Yeah, hell.
Or would you buy Innocent?
Nah, I can't buy that.
Why
Yeah,
y'all
Innocent from
acting like
Nigeria.
that about African cars?
All I like is
Why y'all like
Mitsubishi.
that?
I like Mitsubishi, Toyota, and Chevy.
Y'all like everything non-African.
Oh, that's true. Carla does
Y'all
own a
mind
Mitsubishi
is
Mirage.
African. Y'all finance
This dude love Japanese, bro.
When it comes to cars, I don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't look at no African cars like I gotta buy that. If I gotta pay for it, hell no. You know, try something else. Give me
Carla,
tell me some.
would you marry a Japanese if you had a chance to, Carla?
I'm not gonna. I'm not
Hell
buying
yeah.
No, I'm not buying no African car. No.
No, I'm saying, would you marry a Japanese woman if you had a chance to?
No. But I'm saying, but I still.
You seem intrigued by their culture
I like their vehicles. Hold up, look.
and their civilization.
Countries, man, I'm sorry, you don't measure up. As far as like industry, you don't measure up.
Well, you gotta buy black, Carla. You gotta build up the black,
I don't believe in
industry.
black. I don't believe in that bullshit. You know.
You put the app out there, and I downloaded the app for me to be buying black, and you telling me you don't believe in it.
If somebody basically is selling bullshit inferior price, don't buy from them. That's the way I am. I don't believe in buying black just to buy black. You know, I don't believe it. I never say.
No, what you do is you tell them we're going to support you because we want you to build up yourself.
How you ever rode in the Innocent
They
vehicle before?
What?
How you ever rode in an African built car before?
No, and I won't know how to drive.
So how do you know it's crap?
I don't want to drive.
Bullshit. No, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. It's bullshit.
You know what I'm saying?
You rode in one day.
Nah, I know it's bullshit. I just the name.
So y'all ain't even rode in the
Glenn
car.
just be talking shit to back up Carla, and he don't got that.
Nah. I know the car. I know Ghana.
You know it, but I don't mean you drove in it. How comfortable is your diff?
But I know that shit ain't right. I know that shit ain't alright, bro. It ain't even.
Man, you see this shit, Jonathan?
It looks like it's falling apart,
man. Stands as nothing, bro.
It should like it's fucking.
I've been in the Innocent vehicle. It feels like a regular ass car.
Yeah, right.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Whatever.
You drove in it?
I mean, what do you think it is, Carla? You think these are wheelbarrows?
I never saw
pretending to be cars.
The whole time.
Y'all acting like the tires are made of rocks.
I never seen one in Liberia. Never seen one in Liberia.
Because it's not a Liberian-made car. It's Innocent in Nigeria.
Why don't you get the other Africans to buy it and then then talk to me.
Oh, Carla. If it's good enough for the Africans, it's good enough for you, Carla?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I like to
okay, but
buy for your own self.
Most people can't buy brand new cars like that in Africa, in Liberia, especially.
Of you Africans supporting each other and whatnot, So,
Carla, we do trade on the small scales, but most Africans don't have $20,000 to go buy a car. And in Africa, we don't buy cars on car payments. You buy cash down. That's it.
Well, that's it. It is. I don't know what to tell them.
Most people don't got that money. But Carla, man, you gotta stop being so bigoted. Ride in the Innocent, ride in the Katanga, see how they drive. Compare that to your Mitsubishi.
Your fucking bullshit car, Sorry.
See this, Jonathan? Let's do one and give people a chance.
I'll try to drive in one, but I don't know about buying one.
I mean, you said it's bullshit. You haven't even driven in one before, and you start talking shit about it.
I want to know he drove in a pickup one. I know they got a pickup, and I know they got a
I rode in the pickup one, the one that's like the truck.
Okay. Right.
Like a Toyota.
Yeah, they got a pickup one, and then.
All right, fellas, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow night.
All right, man.
Come with better topics
Aw.
tomorrow, Carla.
Yeah,
The show is kind of dry tonight.
It was a great topic. You know,
Nah,
I made my point tonight. You know, social media is
come with
bullshit.
All the
better
shows don't
topic and
gotta
more
be. All the
engaging
shows.
conversations.
All the shows don't gotta be long.
Yeah, like I said, I gotta get
And
up
I'm
in the
not worried
They
about the
gotta
time.
be long.
I'm gonna go too. I'm just saying, come with better topics
I gotta get up
tomorrow.
in the morning.
Work in
I
the
gotta get up
morning.
in the morning.
All right,
And,
man. Later.
all right, bro. I got a really good topic for y'all tomorrow night. But
All right, later, folks.